reckon we should probably start soon. I don't think Shiny's gonna be here.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a response.
He was online earlier.
What the hell was that?
I stretched.
Did not sound like a stretch.
It was a stretch. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Bold of you to assume to know where our minds go.
She's got a good idea.
I know you guys well enough by this point.
What was that?
It was funny, I started recording and that's like the first thing that got on the recording.
Oh my god. What was my stretch?
Yeah.
Yes! Your pornographic stretch.
So that's a good way to start the video.
Okay, whatever you guys say. Alright, so we got a hard stop at noon, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are gonna click on this video and be like, what is this? I thought it's D&D, but it's OnlyFans.
What do you mean? Bellathor and Aura ruined OnlyFans, dude.
How did Bella Thorne ruin it?
Basically, she said that she was going to post a nude photo shoot on the OnlyFans, and the entire people who followed her sent her $200, but when she sent a picture of her in the swimsuit or something, the fans got really mad, requested a refund, and OnlyFans had to oblige, but they also changed their policy statement saying that you can't tip people over $100, and for anyone who's getting paid by OnlyFans, instead of waiting a week to get paid, you now have to wait 30 days. So
Damn.
a lot of the OnlyFans creators got really mad at Bella Thorne, and Bella Thorne just kind of backed away and said that she did all that, made an OnlyFans for a documentary, and then the person making the documentary said, no, I'm not partnered up with Bella Thorne to make an OnlyFans documentary.
I would have been like, you're not throwing me under the bus, bitch.
Yeah, so she basically screwed over an entire community of OnlyFans people.
Yeah, an entire fan base. Lovely. Well, alrighty then.
He screwed up. Yeah, it's just funny.
So who remembers where we left off?
Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody remembers the flare gun at the top of the tower?
No, I wasn't really present for that. I did review the video.
Bold of you to assume I have a brain at this time.
Bold of you to
Bold of you to assume Jonah wouldn't press the button.
So there's something out in the lake. You guys can't decide whether or not you want to go and investigate it. The overall consensus from what I have gathered so far is no. And Trey is, or was, I don't know if he still is, consulting this astral projection spirit of his master?
He
Or one of them?
Was.
Was. Okay.
And basically we talked about, hey dog, how do I get laid? Basically.
It wasn't how do I get laid, it was more of a how do I access my feelings, because he just doesn't access them.
So it was, hey dog, how do I get laid? Yo.
Yeah, sure.
Do it.
Whatever.
And what did we decide for a name for this master?
I don't know, what name did you give him?
Tiny Rick.
It's Pickle Rick! I can't honestly remember. It was some random name because I was so on the spot.
Okay, then I will go back and re-review and write it down. But I don't have the time right now. So we're pretty much camped out outside of the Mage's Tower, or because it's getting dark.
We're inside of it.
Oh, you're inside the damn
All
tower?
inside of it.
Oh yeah, they're inside.
They are inside? Is Sariel inside?
It's up to you. They shut the door and locked it behind them, so you're all alone if you're not.
You guys have to make me go back into this damn tower. Okay, I'm inside the damn tower. I am not getting up.
You don't have to go up to the upper levels.
I don't want to be on the lower level either because that's where I saw the fucking A-Mall.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Poor Angela, man.
By the way, there is no trace of the A-Mall at all.
Which concerns me immensely.
In fact,
Okay.
the tower seems completely like devoid of any signs of struggle.
Yep, I gathered that. Alright, so Trey's did the thing with his master.
What do you mean did the thing? I was at the top of the tower watching goddamn Joan shoot a flare. And that's why.
You can't prove Joan did anything, man.
So, do we want to start with right after you guys shot off the flare, or do you want to start at the beginning of a new day after a long rest?
My vote, New Day.
Just before we freaking start a new day, can I bind Joan to a fucking bed so she doesn't touch any more shit?
No, you cannot, because that is too easy.
I mean, you can roll for it.
What am I rolling?
Let's
Sleight of hand?
I don't know. I think that'd be a strength check against Jones.
Oh,
That is true.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Can I use dexterity since I'm monk for speed?
No.
For speed, no, because this is like you'd have to wrestle her down.
Because she's not willing.
What if I do it when she's sleeping?
I mean, it's kind of all about speed then. You just gotta do it before she knows.
Exactly.
Strength check, contest, go.
Okay, yeah. So your dexterity versus her strength.
And no.
I don't think you're getting away with that.
No.
Man, Zephyrina is strong.
Anyway, so Sariel's going to France. She's not sleeping. She's already explained why. So she's going to trance.
Let me get that rave music going on.
Might as well, right?
Watch, that's how elves trance. They just put on EDM and just start bobbing their head. Okay, so you guys are inside a locked tower. I would say you probably don't have to roll perception for like night watch, but you can if you want. If anybody actually wants to stay up and like take a watch.
I'll take a watch.
I'll take a watch and just roll for something.
Alright, you two. Have fun.
Hey,
So-
I'm not on the same watch as him.
What, kitty? What do you want from me?
So our monk sees and hears nothing. It's a peaceful night. Let's see, Rosie, what's your new character's name? Runa, okay. Runa, you don't see anything, but at some point during the night you hear something from another level fall to the floor and crash, like a clay vase or something. And you go down to check it out, and there's nothing there. You find that it was a vase that fell over, and it shattered on the floor, but you don't see what caused it.
Alrighty.
Callie, stop being so cute.
You can
Oh my god.
you can reasonably assume that it was just like a rat or something.
My cat stood on my computer and opened like 20,000 issues.
It's a good
Good.
thing. It's a good thing you're not recording.
And she's over there purring like she's proud of herself. Good, good. God, you're full of shit.
Other than that, the night goes fairly peacefully.
You're bad, kitty.
Is everyone going to go straight to sleep?
Yeah, I'm going to sleep
Okay.
after my walk first. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you
Okey-doke.
going to?
Then y'all wake up in the morning, nice and refreshed. Sariel, you wake up 4 hours ahead of everybody else,
Which is not unusual.
and you're sitting there basically alone because everybody's is asleep in a tower that you don't like,
Mm-mm.
and roll a wisdom saving throw.
Why?
Oh, damn.
Oh, fuck. Okay, what happened?
So in the
Boys,
time,
I'm so glad that I'm not playing Jess's character right now.
so in the time that you're awake when everybody else is asleep, you become a bit paranoid because you have seen some shit in this tower. And every little sound seems amplified and dangerous. The wind going through a window seems like some howl of a beast to you. And you have to constantly remind yourself that you're not alone.
Okay. So Jess is just sitting there in a cold sweat.
Just freaking out.
I am so thankful I'm not playing Jessamine. There's a reason why. Oh, Lord.
But everybody else has a great peaceful sleep. And when y'all wake up, you just see Sariel just kind of like with her back to the corner of the room, like sitting on her, like her knees pulled up to her chest with her hands wrapped around her knees, just like looking around.
So, I have a question. Am I since I basically have my back to a wall because I don't trust shit. The window, is it facing Bjorntorp? Would it face Bjorntorp?
I mean, it's, which level are you on? Are you on the...
I assume we're all on the second level where people would be resting.
Yeah, the third level would have been like the mage's quarters, and the second
That-
level is like their common room.
I would think I would be like at the very top where there's air, like ceiling and stuff.
Okay, so you're like on the top of the tower, like where the rampart is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so obviously from the ramparts there's a view, and from the third story there would be a window. The problem is that there's a forest and mountains between you and Bjorntorp, so you really can't see anything other than the trees and the hills.
I mean, the reason why I'm asking is because she's looking for signs or smells of fire.
Roll. Man, that'd be investigation or perception?
I would assume perception because in my history, I would smell it first before I saw it. But that's entirely up to you.
Yeah, I'll say perception.
I am not having a good day.
Yeah, you don't see or smell shit.
Okay.
Nothing doing.
So, anyway, so what do you guys do when you see Sariel basically having a panic attack?
It's like if there was a paper bag, if paper bags existed, like she'd be breathing into one.
Just walking down after seeing some nice forest. Wait, what the fuck? What happened?
I hand her a burlap sack.
I'm just gonna look over and say, why are you not looking at anything, Saria?
This place is cursed. I want to leave.
Oh, are you talking about before or after we saw the corpse room?
The corpse room?
You know that place where we saw those dead bodies?
Oh, is that what you literally are asking her?
Yep.
She's like, and she just, alright, well then at that statement she's just going to glare at you. Right. She's like, this place is cursed. I want to leave. I need to get out of here. Can we please leave now?
I'm cool with that. Everyone else?
Gonna go ahead, unlock the door, walk out. Well, let's go.
She's running out.
That wasn't
Ahead of you.
That wasn't so hard. Where's the sturdy woman?
She is, probably still
passed
people
out.
eat some more of that jam she found.
You mean the fermented jam that is basically mead?
Full of jam. Like,
Jamming.
Is this fermented jam?
I don't think it is.
it's just regular jam.
Yeah, I never really specified.
Okay, I'm about to say then that's just basically like rotten mead.
No, it's
Anywho.
regular jam.
Anyway, moving on. So, Sariel's going back to the donkey. She's waiting for Angela to rejoin her. When she's out in the open air, she kind of takes a moment to breathe a bit more.
So because of the abysmally low wisdom save, from this point on, anytime you see this tower, it's going to immediately trigger an anxiety attack.
Well, fine by me. I don't want to come back to this tower. You have put me through enough with this tower.
Runa's just gonna see her in distress and give her a nice mom rub on the back.
There, dear.
She's just gonna walk up to Saria and hand her an edible.
Inedible.
That'll help with anxiety, yeah.
You look stressed. Here's some shrooms.
She's just going to.
You're not you when you're hungry.
I can't even think about eating right now. I can't be seen in Bjorntorp, so what I was thinking is that when we get there, I could try to disguise myself and get Angela further south and get her somewhere safe.
You could send them back to the village and you could run the base of operations out of the tower.
Not a chance. Look, you made her relive one of her most dramatic experiences in her lifetime with this tower. You all,
Or is it our traumatic experience?
Hold on, that sounds like some communist propaganda to me when you say our.
Yeah, looking at her and everything like that. No.
Communism is
So-
happening here.
I don't
I'm
think Sariel has ever really fully disclosed what she saw and why it bothers her so much. She told, oh, wait a minute. Did she tell Joan about the fire vision?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think she did. But I don't think she fully disclosed why it bothers her so much.
People on fire. That's a pretty good reason.
This is why I have such intricate backstories. Okay. So anyway, so Sariel turns to Angela and asks, notes. Hold on, I need names. I need correct names before I say the wrong name. the wrong thing. Angela, do you know Eric Von Stang?
Angela can't go to the phone right now.
Just trying to think how to best respond to that. Angela's silent for a bit. She kind of, her eyes glass over like she's trying to think. And when she looks up, she gives a weak smile. She says, "Yes, I think so."
If he is willing, I'm going to have him try and get you further away from Bjorntorp. Whatever you do not have to go by the name that you were born with. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, but couldn't I stay with you?
It's not going to be any safer with me than what you've already been through.
But you rescued me, and there's safety in numbers.
You're right. There is safety. And if I am able, and if help is already coming, I do have somebody that I can reach out to and get you away. Start a new life. Isn't that what you wanted?
It was. But things change.
You're right. Things do change.
She's in love with Sariel. That's what I was thinking.
Everyone wants to fuck the bard.
Even though the bard doesn't necessarily want to be fucked. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's more like she has, what's it called when you, like, not necessarily fall in love, but she's become infatuated with her rescuers.
Nightingale syndrome.
There you go, yeah. Couldn't remember it.
But only
And it's
Sariel.
not necessarily just Sariel, it's like the whole lot of you. Like, she doesn't want to be far away from any of you because you rescued her.
It did nothing. She showed up out of the woods.
I gave her coat.
Would I recognize this as such a syndrome?
Roll medicine.
I did. 15 did.
I'm stuck on jukebox, hang on.
You gotta realize, Sariel is 270 years old. She's seen a lot, learned a lot ever since she left her father's care.
You don't know the specifics. You don't know specifically that it's Nightingale syndrome. You don't know the whole story behind it, but you do understand that it's something you've seen before, where she was in a situation that was hopeless, and she honest to God thought that she was going to die or worse, and then all of a sudden you lot burst in and saved her, and so now she's having a hard time picturing how she will survive without you, because she wasn't. If it wasn't for you, she'd be dead.
Okay. So, Sariel kind of just takes a moment to breathe, and she's like, I'm going to attempt to send out another message if help isn't already at Bjorntorp waiting for us. Will you go with my people?
Angela seems confused. When you say your people, she thinks you mean the rest of the party, and she kind of starts looking at them. I mean, you're going to leave them? I'm going to be staying with them.
I have other... No. I mean, I have other friends that will be coming to assist me. You gotta understand, Angela, what's going on in Bjorntorp right now is not stable for any community to really survive properly, and if things continue, I do not see Bjorntorp surviving through the winter.
What do you mean?
There's trouble coming. The people who kidnapped you, there's more coming.
You mean the goblins?
It's not just goblins. I can't explain in full right now. I don't have the authority. I'm sorry.
I don't understand. When I left, the town was just fine.
The town is standing, but there are issues that are going to be coming. If we don't have a successful change in leadership for the town, I don't foresee it surviving the winter.
And winter is coming.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
And out of character, I'm purposefully using the word foresee.
Foresee. Angela's quiet for a moment. She's trying to figure out what her best course of action is. And she kind of gives a weak smile. Isn't there something I could do to help in town?
This gives Sariel a pause. And she thinks, and she's like, we've still got a bit of a ways to go. Do you truly want to help us?
Well, yes, of course.
Do you truly want to save Bjorntorp and be here with its people?
Well, I don't know that I want to stay forever, but I could help.
That's good enough then. That's the heart of a lioness. Alright.
Roll perception real quick.
Well,
when you say the heart of a lioness, you can see on Angela's face that she's confused. But that's it. You didn't roll any higher than that.
no. Sariel's locket is open and on her chest. The face of the lion is facing out. So if that gives her any context. So anyway.
Not
She's like,
really.
I will think. Alright, so anyway, Sariel just nods and says, I will think. I will try and figure out how you can help. Perhaps you can, but I need some time to think. Regardless, I can't be seen in Bjorntorp. I'm supposed to be missing, so I'm going to have to take a form that none of you will probably recognize.
Can you hold that form for long?
I can hold it for an hour. That's only if I absolutely have to go into town, though.
Angela seems a bit worried. What does this form look like? How will we know if it's you?
Well, that's the thing, is that I really can't change too much. But the one thing that I will not change will be the cloak. If I take off the cloak first and then use the spell, then the cloak should remain as it is.
But how do we not know they are identified you by the cloak?
Well, you can give me a phrase, if that helps instead.
Ducks.
Ducks.
You
Seriously?
you can't even tell us what you look like.
It's for all of your own safety, and Angela, I'm particularly concerned about yours. You to Bjorntorp are missing as well, and the guards themselves, from what I have seen on my journey up here, did not come looking for you.
Can you also modify the cloak a bit, or can you just not do that and just only one thing?
I can alter my clothes to look a little bit different.
Why don't and this is a crazy thought, you modify your clothes color so it looks like one of ours mixed in with one of yours. That way we'll be able to determine who you are.
Why would modifying her clothes color change who she is? It's people recognizing her face she's worried about.
No, if she's hiding and Angela needs to deter who is who to find her in case, she modifies her clothes color so she knows who she's looking for. It's not freaking trying to hide her.
Oh man, I'm trying to decide Sariel's probably wearing her dark clothing, so that includes sleeves, breeches, and whatnot. So, breeches, boots. She says, I do have other clothes that I can change into if you really want to go that far.
I'm up for any other suggestions.
That's only if I need to come into town. What I do need to do, though, is go back to the inn and talk to the barkeep. I need to get information from him first to see if any of my friends have popped in, and if so, then I have a better advantage. However, I honestly don't have very high hopes. I know my way of thinking is kind of all over the place. So bear with me here. Names.
So, this entire time you've been talking, Angela has kind of gotten quiet. She's taken a few steps back. And anytime you glance over, it looks like she has something on her mind, like she's thinking about something.
Angela, do you have any input?
Well, I know you all saved me, but I don't know if I should say anything.
Oh, not like a king or anything.
Well, there are certain things that I can do to help. Certain gifts that I have.
Yes.
Well, mind you, I'm not trained, but I do have a little bit of natural talent for magic.
What can you do?
Well, like the miss over there, I can change what I look like.
Oh, so you know that particular spell as well.
I don't know what it's called, but I can do it.
How long have you been able to hold it?
As long as I need.
That kind of fixes things, don't you think?
Well, I have to be careful that I don't hold it too long because I don't really know how to explain it. But the longer I hold another appearance, the harder it is to recall what I looked like originally.
Can I roll an insight check on her?
Yeah.
And I've rolled Arcana. I want to see if I understand. I mean, I understand from outside what this is, but... Whoa. Okay then. You first, Lane.
So, she seems to be very, very on the up and up. Like, she is telling the truth as far as you're aware. But you can also tell that she's hiding other things. Like, she's explaining it purposely in a way that kind of glosses over certain things.
I'm gonna look her in the eye and say, tell me, when you left your home, was this the actual form you were birthed with, or is this another one of your forms that you can't remember?
Well, when you were in the mansion, did you see a picture of me anywhere?
I haven't even been to the town. I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, upstairs in my room, there's a portrait of me. That's how I'm able to transform back. I can always look at that and remember. But I don't have it.
Have you tried using a mirror?
Well, the mirror doesn't work if I've already transformed, though.
But if you get a look at yourself before you transform.
Yes, it sounds like it would work, but the longer I hold the shape, the more I forget.
Sorry, don't you have like that mystical hand wavy thing that makes you show people? Since you are
Okay,
embarrassed to
so-
pay attention to that.
Sarah, you don't recognize the spell. It's not polymorph.
No.
It sounds like it, but it's not.
Yeah, I know, and I'm trying to remember what it's actually called, but
And it's not alter self either.
no.
Both of those have a time limit. You can't. The fact
But
that
there
the fact that there's no time limit is what throws you.
She's not human is the point. It's an innate gift that I've read about, and I can't place where it's from. I'm gonna have to circle back to it. I know it exists though. I just need to let it go and let it come back to me. So anyway, Sariel herself doesn't know. But to answer Trey's question, Sariel kind of takes a step back and eyes Angela pretty critically, and then casts Minor Illusion. She starts to shape a form in her mind, which kind of begins to appear in front of them. Like she purposefully moves her hand so that in case she needs to lengthen Angela's hair, she does. If she needs to adjust the shape in any kind of way, she can. When she's finished, she has what I assume would be a copy of sorts of Angela's form.
Sorry, if we allowed Angela to come with us, would you be able to help her turn back?
I should be able to. I mean, that's what we bards do. We shape and create the story. We iterate the description of our heroes, of our champions, and our villains. This should be simple enough for me.
Yes, if you can just keep that image in mind and be able to create it from will, then I could transform and not have to worry.
And that's what we will do. Regardless, I will need to get to Bjornthorpe though. Now that I think about it, I need to go and talk to Virgil first. And then if Virgil's unable or unwilling to assist us any further, I need to get Angela further south.
But what about your boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Wait until a boyfriend thinks that she's missing?
Who?
Or-
Yeah, guys, Sariel has a boyfriend. You guys didn't know this?
We've only been together for about 2.5 days.
Been here even less.
Like,
What's the deception check for?
She's hiding her freaking emotions. She's tired of talking about this.
You have a boyfriend. People are gonna ask.
This is, you guys really don't know. This is what's driving me crazy.
hey,
Like,
just
you're pretty good. You're pretty good at
Like a
staying
thousand
stone-faced, but and most people wouldn't notice it. But as you turn away, like one hand grabs the hem of the cloak.
Joe's brain just only widens.
Let me see your soul.
Nope.
Damn.
No.
Trace is gone.
Sariel's face just becomes a complete devoid mask, and she's like, whatever you're thinking of trying to do, you really can't. If you value any lives, you won't mention anything. Okay?
Your boyfriend? I can just feel the glare from the phone.
Trey kind of stifles a laugh.
So, taking a moment to breathe, Sariel says, there is no guarantee of any relationship that I may or may not have in this village. There's a very high probability that nothing is going to come of it.
Jen's just gonna have a shit grin on her face. Be like,
You gotta understand, this is not my place here. So are we moving on or not?
I mean,
You don't need to take one last look inside the tower.
What do you hope to find? I really don't want to stay here.
Interesting.
It's better if you guys just say that I'm no longer around. If you ever get asked about my sudden disappearance,
I'm just gonna say I don't even know who you are.
that works too.
I genuinely don't know who you are.
I introduced
You introduced yourself, yes, but I don't really know. Now, do I?
This is very true. Actually, none of it
Those
is
are-
true.
She only knows our first names. At best.
Pretty much.
Angela chuckles very softly in the background.
Sariel glances over. Is she the one that's holding the cloak?
Say that again now?
Is Angela the one that's holding the hem of the cloak?
No, I thought that was you.
Yeah,
No.
you.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, she is holding the hem of the cloak, but she's glancing over at Angela to figure out what she finds so funny.
You can see that there's like this amused smile on Angela's face, but she really doesn't say anything.
No. Lovely. Okay, anyway, moving on. So, animal handling for the donkey?
Have the sturdy woman do it.
Joan, donkey, please.
Doing them get water.
That's awesome.
What am I doing?
Slap
We
the
need to roll.
ass.
Slap the ass. Yes.
We need to roll animal handling.
Clap them donkeys.
I'm trying to be stealthy, but you clap my ass.
We just rolled into the town with the clap of our ass on the road.
It's
I
the
mean-
real reason why paladins can't be sneaky. It's just the clap their ass.
You don't fuck it up. I mean, but this ass is definitely gonna clap on the way back.
So, by my count, this makes like day 4, so we're past due date. I'm not getting paid back.
Pregnant?
Fucking narc.
Did you say pregnant?
Yes. She said she's past her due date.
No, I'm not getting paid back. The gold that we,
Not
paid
kidding.
out in
the back.
no.
On the hospital room.
Because te forgante.
So, anyway,
On
if
the
you,
bright side, the donkey and the cart are in one piece.
yes, on the bright side, the donkey and the cart are in one piece. Did you get my whisper back, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense for what she's going for?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anyway, so we're moving on. As this is happening, Zariel kind of just withdraws out of her. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. How the hell did you manage to do that? How do you grab a pizza?
How do you bring the pizza?
Okay, I'm back.
It's
Hey.
let's get the
No, Dragon, how did you manage to scrub a pizza?
I opened the oven and it was melting through.
Oh. Do you need me to help you clean the oven?
I was calling for your help when I was trying to get that out.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll send you guys pictures at a later point. Anyway, so as they're walking, Zariel's kind of going to withdraw into her thoughts.
So I did a goof.
better boyfriend.
I did a goof.
You did a goof?
Yep. This whole time that we've been playing, I forgot to transition to the D&D thing on the recording software. So it's
Oh
been
my god.
So it's been picking up what we've been saying and talking about, but for the past 45 minutes, it's just showed the stream starting soon thing.
Oops.
It's fine.
It's fine. We
Beautiful.
haven't done much anything on the board, so.
That's true. So you guys are heading out then? You're getting ready to leave?
We're heading out.
And
We're clapping the masses.
Hang on, I gotta do a thing real quick. Let's find out.
Granted, it's not the exact same, but there are a lot of ear markers that she's trying to prevent.
Trey's just like as the group heads out, Trey's gonna wait until they're about maybe like 20 feet in front of him before he starts walking. And then he's also gonna like look out for stuff.
Okay, that's weird.
What is?
I just rolled 9 dice, and out of the 9 dice I rolled, all but 2 of them were either a 2 or a 3.
Whoa.
Yes. So percept. Yes.
Beautiful.
want to keep my eye out as well, just because I'm in a group of new people. It makes sense that you don't fully trust everybody.
I'm relying on passive, which is 14. Shiny!
Shiny here.
Shiny just logged into Roll20.
Okay, well I officially hate those dice now, so... I could switch to my metal dice. Oh my god, they're heavy. Okay. Well, that didn't work, so continue on. Nothing happens. So y'all are traveling for... Let's say you've been traveling for a couple hours now. So that would put you...
Nothing happens. I don't know and notice anything with the 23.
Well, your perception was higher than my roll, so... Nothing happens.
Ah, okay.
Because I rolled nothing but 2s and 3s.
Sweet, even my failure would have succeeded.
But yeah, you know, you guys travel for a couple hours. Joe manages to keep the donkey in line. It doesn't run off. But
She claps the masses.
you can tell that it is not thrilled by this large armored woman, like, basically forcing it to do what it doesn't want to do. It recognizes the path back, and it wants to run home, but she's holding it in check.
Cool.
Like, it's been out in the woods, it's seen some shit, it doesn't want to be here anymore, and it knows that
Some therapy.
it knows that it's going home, and it's
Yeah,
taking everything Joan has to keep it from just full out galloping and just bouncing the cart along behind it.
Oh man, no.
The ass has seen some shit and it knows.
I assume that Sariel would see this, and she begins to start telling a story in common about a friend of hers named Zora, who is apparently very gifted with animals, and this one story about how she managed to tame a bear. Anyway, so she's just talking to pass the time.
Should ask Joan how she tames boars.
She killed the boar.
Tomato, tomato. If it's dead, it's tame. True, it's not gonna do anything bad when it's dead.
Anyway, she's not using any bardic flourish. She's just telling a story to pass the time.
Church is gonna play the ocarina.
So while this is going on, Angela's just kind of chilling in the cart, just listening intently to what everybody's saying or doing.
Just clarification.
Clarification.
You know, I don't know if any of us have asked this, so I'm gonna have Joan ask it. But if it's been asked already, just tell me. We'll pretend it didn't happen. But Joan's gonna look to Angela and be like, "So, why did you run away?"
Probably to find a man.
She's not you, Runa. She's not you.
Why would you not run away to find a man? I didn't run away. Granted, I was sent on like a spirit mission. That's fine.
So, Angela, her face redens a little bit. She's kind of embarrassed. She looks away. You know, honestly, I don't really remember. I know that I wanted to be out of there. I wanted something new, but I don't know what exactly it was that compelled me to leave.
Hmm. Is there a god you're close to or something? Maybe divine intervention or something was like, yo.
Roll perception for me real quick.
Questioning.
Damn it.
So, Angela shakes her head. No, I've never really been the religious type.
I mean, you don't always have to be religious for a god to speak to you or appear in your life.
This is true.
Like, I wasn't religious when Luth entered the picture.
Who?
He's the god I follow.
Oh, never heard of him.
Seems like a lot of people haven't.
Perhaps I should weave a story together. It would certainly be interesting. It might draw in a crowd.
You're trying not to draw attention to yourself? I doubt that's a good idea.
No, she means. Never. I get what she means, but yes, sorry, I would like that.
Sariel kind of just tilts her head back and thinks, the legend of the time, the legend of time has a nice ring to it.
See, now all I can think about is that stupid parody song about Zelda called The Hero of Rhyme.
That's exactly what I was referencing.
The game comes has fallen too low.
The Hero of Rhyme.
So anyway, so Sariel kind of raises her shoulders and says, well then I'll see about writing a story if I can ever find the time. She kind of cracks a grin.
Joan's just over there smiling herself.
Angela sees the smiles but doesn't get it.
Yeah, inside joke.
So then, he's not a well-known god.
Not really.
No, he's pretty old from what I understand. If he is known in this particular era, then he's probably under a different name, or he's been influencing things without really being in your face. Definitely not a bardic god.
So Angela smiles a little bit and she's like, well, he sounds like a trickster god.
Hearing that, Joan's just gonna start laughing. And then look at her and be like, in some ways, you're not wrong.
Well, apart from him, then what other gods do you worship?
Well, I don't necessarily worship them per se, but a lot of different people, you have to understand, Angela, I'm about 270 years old. I've met with a lot of people that follow different gods, and in a way, they kind of touched my life too. Like Francala, the god of music, or Timora, the goddess of fortune. I mean, there are the gods of my race, like Sahanin, the moonbow goddess.
In the background, you just hear Trey yell, "I'm Buddhist!"
Well, Buddhism is no canon. Really?
Angela just looks at Trey confused. What's a Buddhist?
So Trey's finally just gonna run up to where he's matching speed with the rest of the party and says, Buddhism is essentially, we don't really worship a god, we worship the ideologies of a man who reached enlightenment.
And for some reason, good luck to rub the fat belly.
Sometimes it's good luck to rub the fat belly, but you don't want to rub it too much. But Buddhism is the absence of material things in search for a better path or a more truer path.
The followers of Mask, God of Thieves, would disagree with you.
Well, they're thieves, so.
For Buddhists, we just think that having the simpler things in life can be essentially lead to a happier life. Example being, when I was young, say about, I can't even remember when I was a child, but we'll go to the nearby villages of the temples, and we would have these bowls around our necks, and anything that the people gave to each monk for food, that's what we ate for the day. And we were supposed to be okay with that.
That sounds interesting, but it also sounds like it might be a hard life.
It's incredibly hard. But with being a monk, some choose ways of life in the Buddhist community that they think will reach them enlightenment, be it long forms of prayer or very intense demonstration of the martial arts, or even the subjecting or the purging of emotion in the bid to reach higher enlightenment.
So you can tell that you've kind of lost her, but she's still trying to make sense of it.
Hi, Shiny.
Hi, Shiny.
It's a shiny.
Looking extra shiny today. Hi. Sorry.
It's
It
okay.
took
You're fine.
way longer.
Do you need a quick catch up?
I'd appreciate it.
We're
Okay.
talking about religion.
Too bad you don't get one.
So
dang it.
everybody decided to leave the tower. You guys are heading back towards Bjorntorp, and we're having like a discussion about theology because Angela seems very curious and very uneducated in the ways of religion.
So,
Also, no one decided to investigate the boat or the lake, so you didn't get to do that.
just gonna walk
I
away
thought you
from
guys
that.
did investigate the boat.
No, we didn't. So we're just gonna walk away from that. Not talk about it.
Alright.
Oh my god, I'm gonna end up doing the goddamn thing again, aren't I?
If I had, Luth, let's be real here. If I had investigated the boat, the most I would have gotten is that it's a boat.
I don't know, that's a very interesting boat.
I don't know.
Alright.
The other boat was pretty interesting, but all I got is a boat is a boat, so you know.
So anyway,
Honestly forgot
we're
about
heading back. We're heading back to Bjorntorp. Sorry, Hazard made it known that she can't be seen in town. Angela has a way of disguising herself innately without using a known spell that Sariel knows. And that's basically what's going to happen, is that Sariel is going to try and get Angela away from town, but Angela doesn't want to exactly leave the group yet with a case of nightingale syndrome.
Alright.
There you are, nutshell.
So if you have anything you want to add to the current conversation, go for it. If we're talking
But
about...
I have nothing to add to a
Put on
conversation
your
about
best
religion.
Jehovah Witness face and start
Trey.
knocking on doors.
And start selling your religion. I am a Mormon.
I'll say this would be a good opportunity. This would be a good opportunity to tell the rest of the group what types of gods and religious practices the noble class has.
Freaking.
What do they have? I need to think about that.
Well,
That skin rash.
apparently they have a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they worship
well-
I mean,
cult.
I mean,
There's-
it's common for nobles to have like a cult at some point. Like, could it be a sex cult or a murder
Douche.
cult?
There's a lot of
Or
dungeon
both.
parties where everybody wears masks.
Or both, or both.
We call them our eyes wide shut cult.
And only masks.
Call them the Corona Squadron.
So, so anyways, freaking Trey
Corona
was
Squadron sounds amazing.
Trey, seeing the confusion on her face, basically just says, "Think about it like this. Not the nobles, they like money, right?
I suppose so.
Well, money leads to greed, which leads to bits about happiness, which lead to war. For monks, we don't particularly care much about money. We use it from time to time to purchase things, but if needed be, instantly we could throw our money on the ground and walk away from it. It's not
Like
something
from
that's
like-
needed for us."
From like behind Trey, Falgrim pipes was like, can't say I disagree with you there.
See, I was always told that it wasn't necessarily money that the nobles wanted, but it was just power. And that money was just a
Also
means to
correct.
that power.
Also correct. But nobles like nice things.
Does that mean you like
and it,
nice
like,
things
showing-
too?
I do like nice things, yeah, but my nice thing, but in fact, everyone likes nice things, but a noble's way of looking at nice things is way different than that of other people. Unlike I'm gonna be really awkward to calling them normal people. Nobility don't feel satisfied with having the same wealth as, common people. They like power, and they need money to show off that power. And that's why they force their children to marry other people.
It's their money, and they
I'm not
get
bitter
their
or
own.
anything.
So you're saying power causes people of nobility
Pretty
to
damn
just
good.
build large structures in a bid to impress other people?
Yeah, they want to impress other people. They want to show other people that, hey, we are powerful, and we are powerful, and you should see us as it's always kind of like a rivalry, almost. Like, we're the most powerful noble family, and therefore you should see us as better. Oh, and then there's also getting alliances, and the whole part where, you have some that rival, other that align, and in that way, it's almost like a whole warfare in and of its own.
That sounds completely stupid.
Yeah,
And it's not
I
just
agree.
nobility that does that. People who are naturally greedy will pursue that line of thinking. And it's not just humans. Humans may starve more and may crave more out of life. Elves are just as guilty, are as dwarves, tieflings. We all mortal creatures are. And in some cases, even gods.
That's just the way it is.
Learning to master that craving and to being satisfied with how you are in your way of life, now that's happiness.
So Angela seems a bit embarrassed by this conversation, and she looks down. I have to admit I don't know a lot about this, which... I'm the daughter of a lesser noble myself. I should know these things.
Well, think of it this way. I'm the son of a greater noble, and sometimes I don't even understand what's going on.
I think that's just called being dumb.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, that one, Trayla.
So Angela tilts her head to the side. She's like, so then I'm dumb?
No, I was referring to the, kid over there.
I don't know if you're a kid. I'm just calling you kid.
Alright, okay.
How old is Phil again? I can't remember.
19.
19 is kind of a kid.
19 is adult in my country, so shut up.
Seems adult here. It's just also, it's not a full adult. It's like you're a partial adult. Hooray!
You're not an adulty adult.
You're not an extra adultish adult.
You-
do not commit adultery.
You still go into a room and look for the more adult.
Exactly.
In our country, you're not a full adult until you hit 21.
They don't smack you like you got a life stick until 21.
You're
Yeah.
not an adult
Alright,
until you can legally rent a car.
Oh no, that's 25.
You still
you can
continue
rent
to look for an adult
hey,
with more experience.
Hey,
Just
technically
Freaking
speaking, where
Luke,
I live,
just wait for car B&B. Just wait for that shit.
where I live, I can rent a car at 18, and I can drink at 18, and I'm an adult at 18 who pays taxes at 18.
I mean,
That's
you
all.
pay taxes at 18 here too.
I mean,
America's like the most fucked up thing. It's like at 18 you learn to pay taxes. At 20
And you can
learn.
vote.
Yeah, you also learn to vote, and then at 21 you learn to drink so you can get over the fact that you just paid taxes and voted.
Yeah, that seems very much like,
and you can join the army and die before you can drink.
Yeah, you can join the army before you can smoke cigarettes and drink.
I want to pay hundreds of dollars into drinking and wasting my life away. No, don't do that. I want to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and join the military, I'm not gonna say that, never mind.
Anyway, continuing on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So Angela's
I'm
been
gonna say so.
thinking about it, and she's like, "Well, I guess it makes a little sense. My father mentioned before I left about how he didn't need his money anymore, that he had found something of greater power."
Boy.
what would that
Joe
be?
was gonna look to Sariel at that point.
Freaking Trey already asked the question to Angela.
Sorry, what question?
Trey said, what would that be?
He didn't say. The only thing he told me is that things would be changing and we wouldn't have as much money anymore, but that it was okay.
So he's selling his soul. Communism. I'm sorry. That's the second communist reference of the frickin' D&D.
But Joan is gonna look to Sariel. Oh, she's not even here.
Yes, I am. I'm right here. I just had to mute for a minute.
She's gonna look to Sariel and be like, should we tell them?
For the motherland.
Communism soul selling.
I should start playing the Russia theme.
No, please don't.
Please do.
So Sariel kind of considers, and then nods and says, "Full disclosure is probably best at this point."
She's gonna look to Angela and be like, "Your father joined a cult."
Oh, so he's giving all his money to the cult.
Oh, so he's gonna start sacrificing people.
Probably, and not just any cult. You know that cult that's been harassing us?
You mean the people in robes? Because that's the one time I saw them.
Yes, those people.
So he worshipped that cult.
He's a part of that cult, yes. By the way, we're being harassed by a cult.
You know, it could have been more impolite.
I mean, that wasn't the first time we've run into those people, so, you know.
It was just the first time I ran into the people.
That was the first time I ran into those people, and I didn't even run into them. I stumbled into a freaking circle of dead bodies.
You're probably gonna run into those more often. The cult, not just okay, maybe dead bodies too, but not the point.
So what I'm thinking is right now, if we keep on going, there's a possibility that the cult's gonna see us now.
I'm pretty sure the cult already knows we're here.
Yeah, like, if they didn't know we were here, why would they be sending us out of the Goblin Camp or the Goblin Temple or whatever?
So Angela pipes up here. She's like, aren't those cultists dead?
They are. But do you really think those are the only one?
Well,
Only ones.
there was a lot of them. Surely that had to have been the majority of them.
And I'm sorry to tell you, Angela, I think we murdered your father. Well, not us specifically. Who murdered her father?
We haven't killed him yet.
Facepalm.
Wait,
We haven't killed him.
Wait, if you already killed the father, then I can just walk in and go to the shop, right?
wait, my dad's dead.
No, he's not
Not
dead.
yet, yes. If you
Not
tried to
dead.
cult, he killed the cultists.
then your dad might be dead. Yes. But that's okay, because he was an evil cultist, so in the end, it's all good.
Enough!
I'm just gonna give Runa this look of, like, why are you still talking?
So Angela just kind of goes quiet and just like starts staring down at her hands.
Angela, I highly doubt your father's dead. There's a chance he's dead. Oh my god, Runa, shut up.
I'm gonna have to do a thing now.
Trey's just going to stop, and he's going to, well, not stop, but basically just like turn his head towards Angela. Can I roll an insight check?
Sure.
Okay. Don't do me dirty.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Already clapping asses. Might as well get a little dirty too.
Mm-hmm.
22. When Luz hums, it's
Oh, that's not me doing that.
concern.
That
Oh.
was me humming.
Oh, that was you humming. Any DM, no matter what campaign, when they hum, it's always trouble. Okay. So 22 for Trey's insight.
Are you rolling insight on his insight?
No, I'm not. But I assume that Luz probably whispered something. So, are we close enough to the town where we can start seeing towers, or at least the watchtowers?
You are just now rounding the outside edge of the forest, and the town is slowly starting to come into view.
Okay. So, sorry, I was going to stop where she's at and turn to the rest of the group. This is where I need to kind of split up, unless you want me to come up and come into town with you.
I think we got this.
So, Loof, as they're walking, well, before they get to the checkpoint, Trish is gonna lean in and whisper to Angela this, and I whispered it to you.
Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
It's free real estate.
Hey, Runa, I think your boyfriend is cheating on you. No, I'm kidding.
Just come over, like, it's free real estate.
So Angela looks like she's. At first, she kind of stops and just stares at you, trying to figure out what to say. And right as she's about to answer you, is when Sariel stops at the edge of town, and she looks up. She's like, are you leaving now?
It's just for the time being.
Do I go with you, or with the rest of the group?
I will meet you at the inn. I need to take the moment to properly disguise myself so that I can follow. It's best if you don't recognize me right away. However, if you just look for this silver chain around my neck, that's how you'll know it's me.
Angela nods, looks at Trey, unsure. She seems like she's about to say something, and then she shakes her head and just says, she gives Trey a small smile. She says, he wasn't always a bad person.
Trey's just gonna look her in the eye, and then slowly he's just going to put his hand on her head and say, when all this is done, meet me wherever you need to meet so we can have a full chat about it.
I don't know if I got anything, but I'm trying to insight both of them to figure out what's going on.
You really can't tell. All you know is that Trey whispered something to Angela, and it made her feel a bit awkward. And now he's asking her to meet somewhere after.
She's gonna look at Trey and be like, I thought you were in the moon.
Freaking Trey's just gonna turn to John and says, there are some things in private that need to be discussed. Because apparently this one has a lot of pain. But anyway, Saya, I don't trust you going alone.
Excuse me?
Also, Runa, your hunt for a boyfriend continues, because I think this one likes the other world. I don't know where.
But anyway,
What do you mean by that exactly?
if we're going into a city of a cult in it, why would I ever leave you alone? Why would we ever split up?
Because it's what they do in horror movies, and it works out good for them.
Yeah,
I'm not going to.
something about splitting the party always ends well.
You're not going to be split from me for very long.
Well, if we're not going to be split with you for very long, then I propose that I come with you. They don't know my face, and you can just change into something else.
I mean, he's right. They don't know who he is.
Sariel kind of takes a moment to think about this, and then she gets this feeling that she's not going to convince Trey otherwise, so she's like, if you insist.
And Trey is basically just gonna go and just look towards Joan and fellas like, you two better know how to defend yourselves, because there won't be poison this time.
What about Runa? She's coming with us. Do you not care about her feelings? She's just got this grin on her face.
Oh, she's got you there.
Trey's just gonna look at Joan from, like, with the first murderous intent ever. I'm gonna roll intimidation.
What do I roll against that?
Charisma?
Charisma save.
Damn,
Well.
I'm a little intimidated.
So yeah, Joan, you get the idea that maybe you should back off this line of questioning.
But anyways, freaking Trey just, like, closes his eyes and breathes and says, considering the fact that I saw you two fight, then you should know how to pull your own weight. And then he's gonna turn to Runa. I don't know how you fight, but I hope you do well and I hope you survive. Just be sure to protect the main person in the center.
I think I'll be okay.
And I hope to see you alive then. Anyways, are we going or not?
I'm just hanging back until they're out of sight.
Alright.
Angela kind of raises her hand a little bit. What should I turn into?
A bird.
No, that's Jessamyn's thing. You can't do that.
It'd be more wise not to draw attention to yourself. If you come off across as a survivor of the raid, then that'd be better.
Give me a second. I have a picture that I have in mind, so I'm just trying to... No, because I have an idea of what can... Where are my pictures? What happened to my pictures? What happened? I'm about to have a freaking...
A bird.
Why?
Turn into a bird.
It's a bird.
They'll never recognize you as a bird.
The bird.
The bird.
The bird.
You know,
The bird. Is that bird?
It's the word.
Bird. Bird. Bird is the word.
Bird.
Okay, who... Wait a minute.
About the bird.
Bird.
Where's the board? Where's the board? Where's the board?
The birch? The birch?
You could just tell us.
I have a specific picture that I need to put into chat that I'm going to suggest Angela turn into, because it's a person that Sariel would recognize.
Well, can't you just describe it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I can't find her picture right off the bat. I'm sorry. So, Sariel takes a moment to center herself and recast minor illusion in her hand. She shows the form of a half-elf female with dark brown hair and brown eyes. You can tell that she has some, like, woodland heritage, but she's dressed in very common clothing, like she lived in the city instead of the woods. She's wearing flat bottom boots, and her hair is braided back with a red strap of fabric. She shows this image to Angela and says, "Can you try to take this form? This is a friend of mine. Her name's Zora."
I don't think I can. You see, I can only take the form of things that I've been around, things that I've seen and had time to study. I thought you were gonna. I thought you were going to suggest an animal of some kind.
If an animal will be simpler, she closes her hand and says, "Then that's what we will go with instead."
I was just going to. I thought I was just going to suggest to disguise herself as one of the dead commoners we saw. But if it's an animal, okay.
Ariel?
Yes.
Why don't you just take the form of Angela, then Angela can switch forms to somebody else?
Because I can't.
That way she has a reminder of someone who can.
Because if anybody recognizes Angela in the town, I'm going to get swarmed. People will set off an alarm, and I don't know how she would react with that kind of attention. I didn't have the time to study her as a person.
So Angela giggles a little bit. It seems you have the same limitations I do.
But on the other hand, after something like she experienced, you can also surmise that she'd be traumatized enough that she would freak out in a crowd. As it's a normal reaction to have. People don't know where she's been.
Runa?
She was traumatized enough and people crowded her.
Runa? The point is not to be recognized. At all.
Well, there's also a point that I think Runa didn't exactly anticipate. If I do take Angela's shape, I'm going to be taken back to the mayor's house.
No, we can't afford that.
Oh.
It's not that bad of a house.
Well, if we're in the assumption that your father's in a cult, we can't assume that they might have something to do with cult activity with your body.
There's also the added concern that I don't know if I can disguise my weapons well enough. I can adjust them to where they probably won't be recognized, but no offense to you, Angela, you don't strike me as a bow user.
So I guess it's an animal that is. Angela, can you morph into small animals?
I can if it's something I've seen before.
A cat, maybe?
Yes, I could do a cat. Oh, I have a better idea. Something I've always liked transforming into. So,
let's do it then.
No incantation, no hand gestures. Her body just starts to darken until it looks like you're staring at a shadow person. And then slowly the form starts to shift. It gets smaller and smaller. And when it starts to lighten again, you're greeted by the form of a small red-tailed fox. that hops up and sets on the shoulder of Felgrand.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
They say Fox is a very mischievous spirit. Make sure you stay out of trouble, Filigrant.
You swear you can see this fox grin for a second.
Alright, now you head off, and in an hour we'll follow behind you.
Right, you got it.
Wait, is Angela coming with us? I thought she was coming with you.
No, the plan is she comes with you guys. Sariel stays back because she doesn't want to be found. Also, for a point, Loof, how far away from the town are we, like time-wise?
A couple hours maybe.
Yeah, so it would be more intuitive to use it.
About 2 hours.
Yeah, so within like the hour 30 mark, it'd be better to use the spell. Because that way you won't be constantly wasting slots.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. So, anyway. I can move quickly and cast the spell, and once we're close enough, I'll cast it, and just disguise myself, and by then I'll at least be able to get to the inn without being truly noticed. Joan, Felgrand, I think it's best if you go ahead and take the donkey back to its owner. I don't expect any kind of repayment. I'll make up the money along the way somehow.
But, what should we do with the bodies?
I would take them to the church, but I don't know what families they belong to.
It's better to just take them to a church or a burial site.
Right, yeah, sure did. Sorry. That was not.
If you go to the temple, you can reach out to the cleric there, Rurik. So if that's where you're going to go first, then I suppose, is the temple like outside of town technically?
It's on the west side of town. It's right on the outskirts. So if you could avoid being seen in the open ground on your way to it, you could get to the back door of the church without getting into town. The problem is that for like 5 miles all around the town, it's nothing but open flat land.
The cloak has a hood, right?
It does.
Hold on. I'm going. Please don't fuck me over.
So the entire time she'll need to stay hooded as she walks.
It's either that or that. Hey, both of them are pretty good.
So either way, those are high enough to do what you want to do.
Alright, so she's going to raise the hood and just keep pace with the group. And just try not to show her face. I don't think anybody in town has seen her with the cloak, with the exception of Callum and Virgil.
Alright.
Like, that's Edward's cloak, right? So wouldn't it recognize it as Edward's cloak? Just a question.
It is burnt up. The edges are burned, and it has been altered slightly.
There is a chance that one of the city guard might notice, but the average person wouldn't.
So just don't attract attention from any of the guards.
Yeah. So I guess we're still walking together, so let's go.
Alright, so we're going together to the church.
Alright. So are you going to swing around the outside of the town, stay off the main road? Like,
Yep.
You're going to come down here, and go go around and loop back in like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Let's see.
Jesus.
Yeah, metal dice are loud.
This one time, my friend was playing around with his metal dice and he accidentally bumped it, so it smashed head straight into a glass and it's shattered.
Nice.
The glass, not the dice.
So it's a bit tricky. You can't take a straight path because the outside of the village is mostly rural farm ground, and every now and then you'll run into a farmer that's tending a field, and you're trying to kind of stay away from any sort of contact. And it's something that they definitely would notice. You're walking not on the main roadway, which is a curious thing for them. So every time you see a farmer in the field, you kind of have to pretend you're supposed to be there. So it slows you down a little bit. I need. See, Sarah did a stealth check, so she's fine. The rest of you, I need to either have roll stealth or deception.
Joan is bad at all of these things.
Wait a minute, Joan, are you wearing armor or are you unarmored this time around for today?
She always wears her armor when she's not sleeping.
Lovely.
Hear it. Watch me get a knot on the second one, or the first one. Fuck it.
Landon, I stole your roll.
Fucking stop stealing my stuff.
Okay, I might actually have a
First you steal my roll, then you're going to steal Trey's heart. What the fuck?
I told you. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna roll stealth to see if that was a bit... Okay, that would have been a little better, but not that great, but...
It's a shame you chose deception.
Stealth and deception are the same for me because I have equal modifier. What's it called? Dexterity and charisma. I was peep braiding there.
So pretty much people notice Joan and fucking fell.
Yeah, the rest of you kind of. The rest of you are trying to be stealthy, so you realize that Joan is not going to help you be stealthy, so you kind of fall back away from her. Or no, you don't fall back. You get ahead of her, so that you can.
Yeah, Trey's gonna do a sleight of hand and just like nab Angela off Belle's shoulder.
You could have just.
You could have just asked.
You could have just asked. You could have just asked.
It's too late for that. There's no going.
Hang on. I have to see.
You immediately go for like stealing. Like, what kind of person are you? Asking is an option.
Phenomenal.
So, the fox, at the last second, hops off of Felgran's shoulder out of your clutches and runs off into the grass. And every now and then, you'll see it jump up out of the grass as it's trying to catch a butterfly or some other random thing. It's staying very close to your group, but it's kind of bounding around all around you, and you can only catch sight of it every now and then.
Trey's just going to keep an eye on
You could just ask.
Trey's just going to keep an eye on the fox from time to time.
So you guys, other than Felgrand and Joan, kind of get ahead of the group so that they don't affect your stealth. Felgrand, you opt, instead of trying to be stealthy, you adopt your air of aristocracy, and you act like you are a lord that's out surveying the land. And if anybody asks, you kind of give them the runaround, telling them, like, basically saying, do you know who I am? How dare you talk to me while I'm working, sort of deal. Joan,
Alright.
You try as hard as you can to act like his hired muscle, but every time he talks to someone, they just kind of stare at you the whole time he's talking. And it helps him with his cover story because they're more focused on you than him, but everyone you pass by is going to remember seeing you.
Why are you staring at me?
But eventually, you all do end up making it to the west side of town. Way over here. You find, we'll say right before you get into the town, you find an old, what looks like abandoned tool shed, and you manage to all sneak in there and group up. So you can take your time and decide how to enter and have a few moments where you know you won't be seen.
Trey's just gonna like look around for the fox. So, is it there or no?
When you guys got into the tool shed, it bound in after you. It was weaving between your feet as it ran into the shed, and immediately it hopped up on shelves and bounced up until it could find a rafter to lay down on.
Alright, so seeing that, freaking Trey's gonna turn towards Saria's like, well, we're all here. Does that mean you're gonna do your other changey thing?
I think we may be far enough outside of town. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the temple. I'm going to see if anybody else other than Rurik is there. If not, I'll just let him know that we're here and that we need some help with some dead. If there is, I'm going to have to disguise myself right then and there.
Shouldn't we tell the village about the dead?
Well, that's why I'm getting Rurik. He's a cleric. It'll probably come easier coming from him.
It'd be more better for the temple monk to announce it. That way we don't give ourselves off as a presence.
So, do you all want to stay here?
Sure, whatever.
Runa?
Oh, sorry, sure.
I'm not going to make any kind of I'm not going to try and make any rash decisions. Looks at Joan without consulting you all first. I will attempt not to do that.
The fuck you looking at me for?
The one who ran ahead and got herself kidnapped. So what the fuck you looking at me for? You talking about?
So, anyway. Alright, I'm going to go to the temple. Just stay put here. And she's going to go to the temple. She's going to go see Rurik. Even though at the moment she's kind of hesitating even with this choice a little bit. So do I still need to do the stealthy stealth thing, or because I'm checking to see if anybody else is inside other than him? And I need to do the other thing.
Do the thing.
Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else in the temple right now?
I need you to roll perception for me.
Perception. There you go. Oh, shit.
There is no one that you can see, but you've just walked in and you haven't had a chance to really investigate and look around.
going to do a thing. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? How's it written? Hold on. Okay. She's going to do a thing.
The thing?
She's taking no chances.
Okay. Let's see.
Dude, I try to plan for your shit. I do.
Okay, so let's see. Through the duration, you see invisible creatures and objects as if they were visible. Their creatures and objects appear ghostly and translucent. Okay, you see two things you didn't see before. They're both up on the altar. Standing behind the altar is this ghostly apparition-looking thing. You can't really tell what it is, but you can tell that it's not technically there in the room. It's in another plane of existence, but it's kind of splitting its existence between that plane and this one, and just kind of watching.
Okay.
And then sitting cross-legged on top of the altar is Saint.
I should have known. Alright, so Sariel, hood still up, and not seeing any other people that would cause her to have alarm, immediately comes over and sits down in the front pew here. And she asks, "Do you really need to be sitting up there?"
That's the best seat in the house.
And your friend behind you? Your friend.
What friend?
She points.
Saint looks behind him and then looks back at her and looks genuinely confused. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Religion or Arcana?
Whichever one you want.
She assumes that this is the god at the temple. What was his name? Paori?
Pelor?
Paylor, that's it? She assumes...
That's the name, yes. So you have two theories. The first one is Pelor, but the chances of a god splitting his attention between such, like, just keeping an eye on such a small church is kind of silly. Though not impossible considering what's going on in the town. You also remember the first time that... Oh, fuck. Trey, what was your first character's name again? Kai. You also remember the first time that Kai tried to enter the church and the story that he told you about what happened when he did. And your second theory is that it could possibly be the angelic figure that he had a conversation with.
Okay, so now deducing that Saint can't see this person, but she can, she just kind of sighs and goes, "This is why I try not to get tangled with gods."
That is the most amusing thing I think I've heard you say yet.
I say I try not to get tangled with them. It's not that I do. I run into all sorts of followers in my life. I'm sure you know that.
That's like saying you try not to get dirty as you get thrown into a mud puddle.
She kind of laughs at that. Like, that genuinely amuses her.
Saint hops off the altar and starts walking down the steps of the giant podium that it's on. So, how was your night in the tower?
Uninspirational.
Well,
I'm actually looking for a counterpart of yours. Not exact. I doubt that you two follow the same path, since yours tends to be a bit redder. Do you know if he's in?
The priest of this place.
Yes.
He was here earlier.
But he's not here now.
I wouldn't say that. He's here, in a sense.
Sariel's eyes slowly flick back to the figure that Saint can't see.
Catching the movement, Saint looks behind him again. Still not aware of anything behind him as far as you can tell. What do you see up there?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. I see a figure that I assume is splitting its energy between this place and another place.
Interesting. And you know nothing else?
I'm waiting for a reaction. Is there an offertory bowl here?
Is there what?
An offertory bowl? An alms bowl of sorts?
There are a couple at the entrance. None up on the altar itself.
I'm trying to think of what she would give as alms, and she's not anywhere close to one right now, but...
No. So, Saint skips down the steps and starts walking towards you.
We have... What now?
Getting right up next to you, he spins around on one heel and just plops himself down in the seat right next to you and stares up at the altar. What do you think it is?
You want me to surmise without information?
Sure. Call it an exercise in leaping.
Leaping.
It's a rather fun game to play.
In all honesty, I really don't know what I would call it. Or him, I should say.
Oh, so it's a him.
She just shrugs. She gets up and she starts walking towards the altar to see if the figure moves away.
It stays completely stationary.
Perception?
Yeah. You're starting to wonder if it's even aware of your presence. Like, maybe it really can't see you, it just happens to be in that place for no other reason to be there.
But no defining features as I get closer?
Not really, it's just kind of like this... almost like seeing a visible aura. Like, it's roughly the shape of a humanoid. It's about 7 feet tall. But Other than the fact that it has 2 arms, 2 legs, and a torso, you really can't make out much else. It's like this shimmering, ghostly sort of fog.
My first thought, but me being mortal, it would be my first thought that it would be the divine entity who this place is dedicated to, but he's not acting like anything I would like. He doesn't seem to take offense to my presence.
And it's entirely possible that when a church is built, the god that they worship, just their worship there in that site, manifests like a conduit for that god to interact with them.
That's
So
true.
it could be basically an empty husk at this point, like a vessel waiting to be filled by the god's consciousness.
Right. Can I use that? Can I use that expression?
Yeah, that could be a theory that you have.
Then there you go. That's the theory that she presents. That's the leap that she's taking.
I mean, honestly, I just pulled that out of my ass, so I don't know how well that would hold up to scrutiny, but...
So anyway, in all honesty, though, outside of game, I would accept that that stance on how divine beings or spiritual entities would interact with the physical plane. Anywho, moving on. For burning time, so
Saint's still chilling on the bench, relaxed as if he's got no cares in the world.
you already know why we're here, right?
General idea. I don't know the specifics of any plan you might have, but I can make a leap.
You can make a leap. I need Rurik to get back. I need him here.
That might be a bit harder than you think.
Oh no. Oh no.
He's been killed. I take it he's either been killed or imprisoned. Which is it?
Ah, I see you're getting good at this leaping game.
If you expect me to play a game, I'm going to need terms and conditions.
Well, you see, the games that I play, they don't have those. No rules, no guidelines. Really, you are all the same. A lot of you, every living creature, so bound in fact and logic. Life is so much more fun when you just embrace the chaos.
Yes, I understand. It is a failing for us elves. That's why Carillion cast us out. I'm well aware of this particular story.
He could have just cast you out because he was bored. But what do I know? It's not like I study the gods of the elves.
No, you don't seem to know our culture. Either that or you don't care.
Well, a little bit of both, I'd suppose. That and I'm not an elf, so...
No, you're not. You're something much more.
Not really. I'm a mortal race, just like you.
Just because you're mortal doesn't mean you're not long-lived.
That is... I wouldn't even call it fortunate. Sometimes it is a curse, but it is a side effect of my particular kind of magic.
True. So, Shadow Dancer, why exactly are you here at this temple at this time?
Well, I need a base of operations in this town, don't I?
Ah, so you got tired at the top of the mountain.
Well, the view wasn't the best of the town. The mountain was fun, it had its perks. But I grew bored of it.
Sariel just shakes her head and turns back to the altar. And she's kind of trying to debate on how she wants to proceed.
By the way, where are your friends?
They're waiting for me.
Oh. They're expecting you back soon, are they?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is just leave a message that I know that my friend here will at least understand. After that, I'll continue on my way.
I don't know. See, now I'm intrigued. I'm curious as to what they would do if you didn't come back at the right time.
Perhaps I should rename you to Time Skipper.
No. That's my brother.
Skip short.
No, I'm
You're
just...
You're certainly not the captain here, Skipper. So Sariel takes like the edge of her shirt and uses her dagger to cut a piece off of it and leaves it on the altar. She also takes out one of the coins and sets it there. It's unmarked, or obviously unmarked. And then she turns to Saint and says, "If you intend to imprison me, I suggest that you make your attempt."
It's not as much fun when you don't at least try to act afraid.
And she just turns and starts walking for the door.
Saint holds his hand up. Saint holds his hand up, and he's about to cast a spell, but then he stops. By the way, how is your new friend?
Ah, so you just confirmed a theory of mine.
Is she treating you well?
That confirms two theories, then.
Does it?
Yes.
Well, don't get too big. I know that this game of Leap is fun, but I've been doing it much longer.
This isn't my first go-around in a lifetime, Saint. I'm pretty sure you and I have crossed paths before.
Very possible, though I think I'd remember you.
She shrugs and leaves 2 copper coins in the alms bowl. And she steps outside.
Right before the door shuts, you hear Saint's voice one last time from inside. Tell Angela hi for me.
Okay, she's outside. She's not answering. That already confirms not one but two things for me. Anyway.
Nope. So we're going to say that this is the church building right here.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing right now?
We've just been chilling inside the tool shed, right?
Taking a nap.
And unless you guys have decided to do something else. Are you waiting on Sariel to come back? Are you going to try to get into the town yourself?
Wait. Like a good person.
We're basically just waiting. Trey's just looking over at Joan and Spell and like says, "So how long does she usually take when she goes on her own?" And no one answers.
What then? Hmm?
Hey, you might wanna.
Have I what? You've been addressed. About what?
Fucking Trey asked you and Fel how long does Sario usually take when she goes off on her own.
Oh, I thought you
Joan
only
just
asked
shrugs.
Joan.
I don't know, it
No.
depends on what's happening, don't know.
So that means we could be waiting for a while.
Could be. Depends. I don't know.
Will anyone have any games while we wait then?
I don't know. You seem like such a funny guy, so I'd leave it up to you.
Yeah, leave it up to the monks to think of a fun game to play. Such a good idea.
We could play my favorite game, Convert the Heretics. No, I'm kidding.
We can play my favorite game, Burn the Heretics.
Oh, yes.
Or we could play my favorite game, Become the Heretic.
Son, are you reading heresy? Unacceptable.
Don't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Not even the Spanish Inquisition expects themselves.
Fucking
What the hell was that? That was loud.
That was a throat clearing.
Yep, sorry.
No, somebody like outside my room was watching anime at full volume and someone just screamed.
Ooh, that's fun.
Usually I don't mind it, but like, dude, I'm gonna call. But if you guys can't hear it, it's fine.
how far is the tool shed from the town in general?
About the length of a football field. By the way, does any of you have a passive perception over 15?
15.
Nope.
Trey said he was looking out, so just general perception check for me.
Whoa, nat 20. Okay then.
Damn. And so what what are you trying to do?
I was just looking out in general at the tool shed because we were just told to stay here, so we just keep and watch this stuff.
Okay, so you find mostly older tools. This place hasn't really been used in a while, so all the tools are either broken or rusted. You manage to find a couple decent tools. You find a hammer that's in pretty good condition.
Are there any long poles or spears inside here?
There's not a spear, but there is a small fishing trident. Just a small 3-pronged trident. It's not in the best condition, but it could still be used.
Trey's gonna pick it up, and basically he's gonna do the just like troll around like the basic thing, play with the hilt with his feet, and then just start swirling it around with his entire body.
How big is the shed?
It's big enough that you could park about 2 wagons in it. There's not any wagons in it now, but it's a fairly decent size shed. You've got some room to move around. I'd say maybe 20 by 20.
Trey's just gonna look at this and says, "This might work."
There is one other thing you notice in your looking around.
Yep.
The fox is gone.
Dante?
Okay.
Trey's immediately going over to where he last saw the fox, and he's gonna be like, "Guys, she's gone." and he's gonna. What do I do to track this woman?
Since
Yeah.
she's in the form of an animal, you can either do a nature check or a survival check to track.
I'm gonna track the fox. Let's do it.
Survival. Let's go.
Well,
So you've had the door closed the whole time you've been in here. She would have had to turn back into a person to open it. But inspecting the shed further, towards the back under a table with some tools on it, you find a hole in the wall big enough that she could have squeezed out of.
Freaking. I just look towards Runa and says, "You wanna go on a fox hunt?"
I got time.
While you're holding a trident. Let's go
Alright,
on a
off
fox.
plan, let's go.
Alright, Sir Trident.
Me and Runa are gonna track a fox.
Okay, so as you guys leave the shed, I need you both to roll stealth checks to make sure no one sees you. Yeah, you cut it. No one notices you leave. So the rest of your group is safe because you haven't drawn anybody's attention to them. And you two go around the side of the shed where the hole is, and you notice that there are some fresh tracks that you can follow. They lead towards the town.
Alright, well, we start going after them.
Yeah.
Freaking all the while, Trey's just gonna say, like, stealthily, "So how long have you been tracking things?"
It's pretty normal to grow up in my culture being very familiar with animals.
Well, you might be a better hunter than me. Freaking, we hunted occasionally just for food if there wasn't enough in the temple.
Hunting is a way of life in my clan.
Well, you do like meat, so I guess that would be true.
Innuendo.
What do you mean? Shut up.
Oh, never in your bush.
Alright, anyways. Me and Runa track this elusive fox spirit.
Oh, I took a drink and it went down the wrong throat. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, I'm better.
Fine.
So you track the fox to the back door of the church. It is slightly ajar, so you have the option of going inside or looking around, but the tracks seem to stop there.
So they stop outside the door?
Yep.
Trey's gonna... You going? Sorry, Ari.
Alright, is the door, like, slightly open or anything? Like a fox could have gotten in?
Yes, it's slightly opened.
I'm gonna point this out to good old Trey with the Jamaican accent and be like, I think we should go inside.
Wait, so you're doing a Jamaican accent to mock Trey?
No, I'm, yes, I am. Hey, look there, man.
Trey's just gonna look at you, he's like, my accent isn't like that, but he's going to open the door quietly so it's big enough for both of them to get in, but it's small enough so they can shut it.
You'd be able to shut it no matter how large you open the door.
Well, big enough that we can just basically get, like, one person can get through and it's not like, oh, it's an open door, somebody came in through here.
But it was already slightly open to where you could tell, oh, there's someone in here. Moving on. Gods bless me. Moving on. Why must you two debate about an open door? Because I have to.
Because
Door.
I hate myself. Moving on.
Anyways.
So you guys go inside. And let me pull up the map.
So where would we be in relation to all of this?
You guys
Over
are
here.
right in that room right there.
Wait, which room? Oh, okay, I see it. Never mind. I'm good. It's fine.
Oh. So, freaking, we're gonna be looking for a fox.
Yeah.
So what do we roll?
Well, I'm gonna do this real quick because neither of you have actually ever been in this building. Why won't it let me do the thing? There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so once you're inside, I need you to roll investigation.
Not survival for still tracking an animal.
Not this time.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Okay.
Well, that was abysmal.
So, because you now are inside a building with stone floors, the fox's prints wouldn't show up anyway. So you start looking around for other stuff, and as far as you can tell, this is just a storeroom. There's a door at the west end of the wall that leads further in, but no windows. There's some tools like some hand axes on a table for like chopping firewood and stuff like that. But that's about it. Some barrels, but you don't know what's in them, and you really don't feel like opening them up at the moment. Just a standard storeroom.
No spears.
No spears. Do you still have that trident, by the way, or did you put it down?
Oh, I have the trident.
Okay. Go ahead and add a trident to your inventory.
I did.
Okay.
But anyways, Trey's just gonna look around. It's like, well, I guess she might not be in this room. It's too tiny.
Why would you say it's too tiny? She's a fox. She could basically weasel her way into anything.
Then, if you want, then I guess we might have to move all these boxes, don't we?
I think it's worth looking in them. And around them.
Alright, you look at those boxes over there, I'll look at these boxes here.
I guess we're looking around the boxes. Do we need to roll investigation again?
Nah. We're gonna use the same scores. You guys find just random stuff. In one box, there's some decorations for making the church look nice during holiday seasons. There is one that has old papers that, upon further investigation, look like song sheets that would be handed out to the people during the prayers. There are all random assortments of things, really nothing interesting, kind of typical stuff you'd find, like candles that have been used but aren't quite used enough to really throw away. They're just kind of waiting for that moment when you need light for like 10 minutes. Just stupid little stuff. Like you can tell that whoever had this church was very very frugal. They didn't throw things away until they were absolutely had no use. No fox though.
I don't see a fox. You see a fox?
I believe it outfoxed us.
Yeah. It outfoxed us in the boxes.
Like with as bad as your investigation scores are, like you could have lifted the lid off of one. It could be like all James Bond style hanging to the top of the lid and you wouldn't have seen it.
Oh my god.
Tracy's gonna be like, okay, I guess we gotta go to the next room to see if there's the fox in there.
Runa is gonna poke open the door and just generally keep an eye out. That wasn't much better, but just see if there's any people or anything around.
So, opening the door, you notice that this one was latched. It wasn't locked, but a fox couldn't have pushed it open.
Alright, then she's just gonna shut the door, seeing as it was latched.
So, but when you poke into the next room, it reveals that it was a bedroom of sorts, probably belonging to the priest of this particular church. There is a table, what looks like a desk for studying, a side table with a chair. There's a bed with a rug. It was a personal quarters, and there was a door on the north wall and the west wall leading further into the building.
Another investigation check.
Yeah, you can, if you go into this room, you can roll investigation in this room.
Sure, he's gonna head inside. Can...
Doing great, sweetie.
Better than the one.
So like, yeah, this is a cozy-ish bedroom. It's definitely better than the ones that you had at the monastery.
I'm just gonna turn to my right. Oh shit, they got cushion. Holy shit.
They have mattresses? We did get mattresses. Is that a fucking rug next to the bed?
Oh my god, they got a rug? All I gotta do is sleep on a rug or a floor.
This dude's fucking rich.
So much for Buddhism.
So what are you doing, Runa, while he goes in the next room?
Runa is going to use some of her rations and attempt to set a trap, because she thinks the fox is still in this room.
Ooh, what kind of trap?
A trap where I can roll animal handling.
Like a steel trap?
A trap
Or
trap.
a
She's
box
going to set up
trap?
a freaking ball trap.
Fox with a stick.
So...
Is it a trap that will hurt the fox?
No, it's not. It's like the cartoon where if you see a fox, freaking, you pull the stick out and the fox kind of falls on it.
Oh, okay. So
It works with cats.
So you're taking out all the stuff from one of the crates that looks like junk and just like throwing it in a corner, and then like ripping the board off of another crate to use as a stick to hold it up.
What is it with you people and taking any credibility that I have with other NPCs? I swear to God. How are we taking credibility with your NPCs, huh?
So, can Trey do a thing?
Yeah, Trey can do a thing while you're listening
Excuse me, sir,
while
you're
you're
in the other
listening
room doing whatever you're doing.
while you're
No,
listening to Runa tear apart the other room to make her trap. You can do a
Trey,
thing.
knowing that the thing, like, I don't even know if the doors are open. I'm assuming that the doors are creaked open the same in this room to Fox transformation. So what Trey's gonna do is he's going to take out Ocarina and play in an octave low enough for a fox to hear, but not high enough for anyone else to notice.
Roll performance.
Stop trying to upstage my trap.
Yeah, no, that works out just fine. You're fairly certain that no one else that might be further inside the building would hear it. Nothing really happens, though. Did you guys shut the door to the outside when you came in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Really? You can't tell. Like, you're starting to wonder if the fox even came in this building because you don't see any sign of it. But you also remember that this isn't a normal fox.
Trace is going to like poke his head through the door, seeing Runa make a trap, and says, "Do you think she could have turned human?"
That's probably a good call.
Yeah, no, don't put anything back away. Like, They'll clean it up. Let's keep going.
Runa is still gonna put everything away. She's gonna clean up after her mess.
Are you guys gonna take the north door or the west door?
I'm gonna take the west door.
Trey's gonna peek his head through the north door to see if he can see any sign of Fox.
Okay. So as you two investigate these two rooms,
I'm just gonna also kind of peek inside and see if there's anything happening in there.
the main room is too big for you really to see all the way inside, Trey. Like you can tell, like, oh, okay, this is like the main like chunk of the church. This is where all this stuff happens. But it's so open and so few places to hide that if Angela is still a fox, there's a chance that she could be hiding under a pew or something. But if she turned into a person, it would be difficult, except for maybe behind one of the pillars, or she might be crouched on the other side of the altar. Rosie, you look into the room to the west, and you can see that it is a dining room. It is big enough that it could accommodate between 4 and 6 people. There is food out on the tables. It looked like that there was a meal either in the process of being eaten or being prepped to be eaten. And it doesn't look old. It looks like it's maybe like a couple hours old, but the food is by no means starting to turn.
Trey's just gonna shut the door and turn to Rina. I'm gonna need your help with the north room, but what'd you find?
There's just food left out on the table. Nobody's in here though.
Is it already eaten?
It looks maybe slightly eaten.
Trey.
Like it could be.
When you looked into this room, you also noticed that just like this one, there was a door to the north and a door to the west.
Trey's gonna roll an investigation to see how the food was left. Like if there was signs of a struggle, if it was really hurriedly, or anything like that.
Oh, so now you can roll investigation.
It doesn't look like there was signs of a struggle, but at one of the chairs on the carpet, you notice there's a few drops of blood.
Trey's gonna get on one knee and just like motion toward Runa and showing the blood.
Runa's just gonna come over and look at it.
Either someone was really sick or someone's really clean at doing the job.
Now that you've found the blood, the both of you start looking harder, specifically looking for that, and you notice that there's a few drops on the carpet to the left of the table as well, leading towards the room to the west.
Trey's gonna pull out his trident and say, "Get ready."
Runa's just gonna pull out her quarterstaff and then kind of peek through the door to the west and see what's happening there again. Following the blood and such.
So this looks like a combination of a study and a workshop. Based on what you can see inside, whoever uses this workshop is of Dwarven descent, because a lot of the tools and a lot of the crafting items are something that would be common with Dwarven ancestry. They're unlike the first room and the second room, this is less devoted to the church itself and more to not necessarily the invention of items, but the crafting of items.
Again, I'm gonna investigate for blood.
It's hard to spot, but you see a drop or two every now and then leading again towards the left. Not going into the main room of the church itself, but it keeps heading west.
It looks like whoever got hit didn't mind to do arts and crafts on the way in.
Runa's just gonna look over the tables and see what's happening on the workbenches. Oh boy.
Stone cutting, that's about all you can figure out. You don't really know anything about it yourself. But you can see chisels and hammers and bits of marble, and you're like, okay, now this person was making something out of stone.
I'm just going to go over here and slowly open the door. And perception 23.
Okay, so this room, much like the first, seems like a storeroom. The main difference being that there is a set of spiral stairs heading downwards. And standing at the top of the stairs, looking down into the darkness, is Angela in human form.
So Trey's slowly gonna walk up, just in the position that Angela can see him, and say, "Hey, so next time you're gonna go do something like this, be sure to tell us. Or don't do this shit."
So,
with a passive perception of 15, would I notice anything wrong with Angela?
yeah, as she looks up and looks over at you guys, you can tell that she's been crying. There are still tears on her cheeks. And sort of like it takes her a minute to figure out what it is that she's trying to say. She's like, I'm sorry. I smelled blood and I thought it was Sariel's.
Trey's just gonna stand up and say, How how strong is the blood smell?
If I hadn't been a fox, I wouldn't have noticed at all, but the wind changed and I caught a whiff of it, so I had to go look. It's really strong down there.
Uh-oh. Then maybe let's step away from it from now and we'll come back with everyone else, okay?
It's not her, do you think?
Don't worry, it's not her.
I didn't see her when I came in.
Did you come in the right way?
I came in through the back door and I followed the smell straight here.
Then there's other places she could be. There's still North Room she could be in.
Well, we can check that room, but as much as we're gonna check, Angela, I'm gonna need you to turn into a fox or some animal again. We can't risk anyone seeing you.
Can it be something else? I don't want to smell the blood.
Can it be a bird?
Yes, I can do a bird.
Alright, go into a nice little bird and lay on my shoulder.
You should change into an anteater.
She changes into a flea.
So the thing happens. Her body becomes dark until it's nothing but a shadow, and it alters. And when it returns, she is a raven, not a large raven, on the smaller side. But she takes flight and lands on Trey's shoulder.
And Trey's just going to basically pet her in raven form and then say, "Okay, let's go." And we're gonna go up through the north door.
Indeed. Bruna's gonna heck and just poke her head through again. Oh wow, I'm good at this.
So yeah, it looks pretty much like any other church you guys have seen. Well,
do I see Sariel at all?
I don't know, Runa, you probably haven't seen a church before.
No, but she can see the statues and surmise it's a place of worship.
Yeah. One of the things, even with such a low roll, one of the things that you guys immediately notice is the absolute immaculate detail of the stonework. Like, whoever built this thing was a master craftsman. This church should, by all accounts, be in one of the larger cities with as nice as it is. It's out of place in a small backwoods town. But
Trey just
you don't see any signs of Sariel or anyone else.
Trey's gonna walk in and just look around and say, huh, they did a good job making a church.
It seems a little odd
Oh no.
that such a nice church would be in such a small village.
Well, some people in a lot of villages like making special places of worship. Even the smallest villages will have the most immaculate churches.
Oh.
But I'm gonna roll an investigation check on this church. That's a 14. What I know.
You can see that the church is designed to hold about 50 people in the pews, and more could stand. Like, this church is big enough that the entirety of the town could squeeze in here if they needed to. And just based on the design, like how thick the walls are and the windows, you kind of get the impression that this is more than a church. It's also someplace that the citizens of the town would use as sort of like a last stand, like this is where they would hold up if there were trouble.
Trey just basically goes along the stonework and looks in, just like, this is a fortress as well, not just a place of worship. I mean, I'm guessing what's ever downstairs is the supposed panic room.
Well, it smells of blood. Trey, I think we should go back and get everyone else.
So
She's gonna
the
say this
raven
before we-
takes off and flies around the room towards the back end that you guys can't see too well, and comes back and lands on your shoulder again, and then just shakes its head.
It's okay. She's probably still at the tool shed, but you're right. Let's head back. And Trace is going to back out slowly and then stealth with Runa back towards the shed.
To the shed.
To the shed.
Okay, just asking.
Into the shed.
Stealth shed.
Yeah, I need
Shed?
I need a map just for a shed. That'd be hilarious.
That's your project for the next week. Shed.
There, empty room.
That'll work.
Oh wait, no, that's a tavern. My bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's empty. Hey, Kai, what are you doing here?
Hey.
This is like my little test map for like placement of objects. So apparently this is also like Valhalla. This is where people go to die.
Oh, then Kai would not be here.
So says you.
My uncle was right. The afterlife does look like a shoddy downtown bar.
Beautiful.
We will just go back to this then.
Okay.
So you guys go back to the shed where everyone but Sariel is waiting.
I would have thought I made it back to the shed by now, but okay.
Oh, is that where you were heading?
Well, I'm kind of debating. Actually, well, yeah, she promised she wouldn't do anything too rash. So, yes.
Okay, so yeah, you would have had time to get there by now. They entered the church right as you were leaving.
The Friends effect.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Roll perception for me, Sariel.
Oh, lovely. This scares me. I want to note that my spell is still in effect. It has not been an hour yet.
So you left the front doors, so you would have had to go around the building to get back to the shed, which would have given you a decent view of the town. Something you note that worries you is you don't see anybody else outside.
Not even footprints in front of the door, other than my own.
You see footprints where people have come and gone. I mean, you're on the path up to the church, so there's been a lot of traffic there. And you see signs of life in the village itself as you look down on it, because the church is up on a little bit of a higher elevation. So you see where people have been, but at this particular moment, there's not a single person that's outside of a building that you can see.
How about the people out in the fields?
Well, you did pass the farmers on your way in, so they're fine. They're doing their day-to-day stuff. And if you look away from the town back to where you came from, you can still see one or two of them that are like hard at it.
Now you have to make me go and talk to people, which means Sariel's going to be seen. Okay, now I have to do the thing. Alright, so grinding her teeth a little bit, Sariel marches back to the shed to, let them know, hey, she's going into town. There's more that she needs to see that apparently has happened, and she needs to go and talk to people.
At that point, as you're saying this, me and Rina would still be gone.
She would wait.
I was about to say we'd probably be gone like a while, considering we took our time investigating every room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not every room.
I was honestly just gonna roll a random dice to see if you caught her in time, but if she's gonna stay and wait.
Alright, then we're just... So after a bit we get back, then looks like shrieking a crow.
By the way, Felgran and Joan, did you guys just do anything with your time alone in the shed?
They made out.
They heavily made out.
Great minds think alike.
There was some tongue and everything. Whoa.
They were Frenching.
Just as friends, it's for practice.
Fell cop a massive feels fucking whoa, dog.
Just a sturdy woman really does it for him.
Oh God, who left?
So who left?
Shiny.
Shiny.
Whoops.
Okay, sorry I cracked the joke. I'm sorry.
Something must happen. I can't see Shiny just up and leaving like that.
She's so outraged by our jokes that she just had to leave.
Oh, Shiny has returned.
Yeah, it was probably just a technical difficulty.
Yeah, that's more than likely it. Oh, hey.
Shame on you guys.
Hey, listen, you're the one who has his ring in his pockets.
Ring him. Shut up.
No, he threw it into the river. Anyway, moving on. What are you guys doing?
Nothing. Waiting. We're nice people, and we don't leave for no real reason.
They've been in the shed playing jacks. Or no, playing Pogs. That's better. They've been playing Pogs.
Okay.
Pog champ.
Poggers.
Alright, so Zariel gets back.
I guess Runa and Kai get back. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Hi.
Brain! Wow, brain!
No, I guess Kai's back. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, then Zariel can call in that bargain she made with him.
You imagine a bargain with someone only for them to fucking leave you and die? Can't relate.
Best way ever of getting out of commitment.
Oh shit, that means if Trey does that, you guys gotta have to go on a side quest to save fucking guy.
Yeah, no way, dude.
Okay, so once everybody's back together. What do you mean you found me? I just went to the temple to look for Rurik.
No, we found Angela. She ran off on her own and she found a basement full of blood. In the church you were in just now.
Yeah, it seems like there might be something down there.
And we found traces of blood leading down to the basement, and then Angela was just standing at the staircase crying, because, you know, that happens.
Apparently it's very major, so apparently...
And now she's Raven on Trey's shoulder.
Wait, back up for a minute. Blood?
Lots of it downstairs, apparently.
Oh, hell, now I really need to get to the inn. Alright, I assume Sariel wouldn't notice the raven, like, right away.
Yeah, it's on his shoulder.
And I've literally said, oh, she's a raven now.
I'm sorry, I missed that. So, she just takes a moment to breathe and says, copious amounts of blood. Lovely. Well, Rurik wasn't in the temple, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but it looks like the whole town is on lockdown. I can't figure out why that would be. It doesn't look like there's been a recent attack, but not even the guards are out.
Found food in the church that had just been sitting there. It was only a few hours old at most, but it was very odd to just see sitting out on a table in the church.
That means this attack happened within a few hours of everything.
Well, I don't see any obvious signs of attack, but that won't help. But I can't say that for certain until I actually get into the town. Angela?
See signs of attack.
You did see signs?
There was
see
blood
other signs?
Yes.
Yes, there was blood.
In the temple, but not in the village.
But there was an overwhelming scent of blood leading down to a staircase.
Sorry, think of it like this. If you say that the mayor's a cultist, right?
I'm well aware of how to connect the dots, Trey.
Then you can also know that if by that logic, he could have ordered the people to go downstairs into the panic room. And there could have been...
inside.
Exactly.
It doesn't change the objective. There's another entrance to get to where you're describing.
So at this point, the raven flutters off Trey's shoulder and lands on the floor and changes back to Angela, and she shakes her head. No, it's not a panic room. That's just the crypt.
Sorry, I'll nod in confirmation.
The only panic room in the whole town is in our basement at the mansion.
But it doesn't make sense why you would have an entire church be made into a makeshift fortress, to me.
Angela?
It's not a fortress.
Then why it has reinforced walls? Why are the weapons inside boxes?
It's just the way Rurik made it.
Then wouldn't it be implied that if you guys were attacked, that could be used as a makeshift fortress, a makeshift anything that people could hide in?
It's probably the strongest building in the town, yes, but when Rurik made it, he never mentioned anything of it having an ulterior purpose than just a church.
If you were a master craftsman and you had ulterior purposes, would you really tell anyone else?
No, but I can't see Rurik as that type of person. I mean, maybe to take refuge in a storm.
Trey's just gonna stay silent.
Hey, Angela.
Yes.
So
For people to quiet.
how well do you know that's a stupid question. You've lived there for I don't know how long. But you say you know there's a safe room in the mayor's house, right? Can you tell me more about the layout of the mayor's house?
Yes,
Or of
it's
your father's house?
well, it's 2 stories with a basement, and the basement is the safe room. It's not a very
And there,
big basement. It's only a couple rooms.
Hmm.
how deep does the staircase lead down to the crypt?
Sorry, say that
Who
again.
are you asking?
Sorry.
How deep does the staircase in the church lead down to the crypt?
It's not like a long walk, but it is a decent spiral.
Serial,
Yes.
you understand what I'm trying to say here, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. I was just wondering if Angela maybe knew.
If I knew what?
Can I tell her, or
She nods.
somebody that we knew? They discovered some place in your room in that house that they couldn't go into, and the other guards that we had spoken to said that it was a weird spot. I think with a broom closet. Feel free to add anything here, Serial, if I'm saying it wrong.
Oh, you're talking about that particular room.
Yes. We don't know what's behind it, and your father has been acting kind of shifty about it, and as if there's something hiding there. I don't know if that's the stairs down to the basement or anything. I don't know, but knowing that, your
Yes.
father is maybe part of that kind of cult.
Even
You're
even
wondering
if he
what could be there.
wasn't, no, that he's always been paranoid about the safe room. He told me that the only way it would be safe is if no one knew about it.
Have you actually been down into the safe room before, Angela?
Once or twice when I was very young.
And that's the thing hidden behind the broom closet door then.
Yeah, they built a cleaning closet to hide the entrance. I thought it was pretty funny.
That is pretty cool and incredibly interesting. Oh, thanks. That answers my question.
And mine too.
I'm not convinced. There's a link between the church and that safe room.
Seems a little sus with Angela. I'm just gonna insight check.
Check, mic check.
Checkmate.
So what are you inciting?
She's a little sus.
You broke up. I didn't hear you.
She seems a little sus.
Sus. You're wanting to see if
Sus?
Angela is suspect?
Suspicious. He seems suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. No, she seems generally wanting to help. Like the information she's giving you is, as far as you can tell, she thinks she's right.
So we have two options. Either one, we head to the church and we go downstairs to the crypt and investigate there, or we all head into town and investigate there. You already know my stance for it. Where are your stances?
There's a secondary entrance to the crypt that I am aware of. We can kill two birds with one stone. Where's the secondary entrance? I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say because it was entrusted to me in confidence.
Sorry.
That doesn't make sense. Secondary entrance is two birds with one stone, so we're going to be finding out anyway.
Also, if you're giving out the implication that people are disappearing, then this is the liberty to say it. You can't hold things up to us.
Serial, is that the thing in the crypt with the dust patterns under the stone? Or the coffin, or the whatever?
You've been in the crypt?
I have, yeah.
Then that's where I came up through, yes.
Alright. That.
Okay. Look, at work here in this village. There is a secondary entrance. There's a tunnel linking the inn to the church. That's how I got there the first time without being seen. Because Edward was going to tell the mayor that I've been kidnapped. That's why I can't be seen, remember?
Correct.
So, we get to the inn. We talk to Callum. We can use that entrance and come back to the church to investigate. However, you're going to need to take that donkey back to its owner.
Not it.
I think the fact of going to figure out stuff outweighs the fact of a fucking ass.
So,
Donkey's fine waiting.
So I am hoping to find Rurik in the village, but I'm not entirely sure now if he's even if he is alive and well, then he's probably locked up somewhere.
On what you said and what I saw in the church, I don't think there's going to be anyone in the village.
But if we're going to go on that bet, everyone get ready.
I'm gonna find out, aren't I?
I think we're all going to find out.
Alright, let's head to the inn.
Sorry, I'll wait until everybody's out of the shed before casting her spell. Luth, I sent over the picture of the person that she's disguising herself as.
Yes.
Sans harp and sword. She does not have a sword on her.
Okie dokie.
So once everybody's out and heading towards the inn, she's going to take a separate route and go around a different way.
And the rest of the group, which way are you taking?
We're just heading right towards the inn.
And Runa's gonna keep an eye out. Oh, okay.
Runa keeps an eye out for
Trey's
nothing.
gonna help. Damn, we didn't call in time, so Trey's gonna keep an eye out. Oh.
Somebody else roll it and make it a 666, and then we're cursed.
We just like are looking, and then we just like look at each other and just keep on looking.
You two are making goo-goo eyes at each other without either of you knowing.
It's like you're both trying to keep a lookout, but you both, like, in completely inopportune times glance at each other, and it's just, like, super awkward.
Stop looking at me.
Looking at me!
Oh,
So-
okay, so I can. Alright, cool.
At this point, Angela has transformed back into a raven and is flying above you guys and just kind of keeping an eye out from the sky.
I am so sorry, my Discord derped out. What happened?
Angela turned into a raven and she's flying above the group, just kind of keeping an eye out from above.
Okay.
Citizens of Dalaran, keep your eyes to the sky. No one will get this reference.
Alright, anyways, we make it to the inn and we head inside.
It's been so long since you guys have been in town, I'm forgetting if I have a map for the inn or not.
You don't.
You did.
You do.
Right up.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't.
have
I'm
a map
sorry.
for Valhalla. The shoddy downtown bar.
Yeah, just the shoddy
Nobody
downtown.
gets that joke, but it's funny.
The Brawlhalla, freaking the Valhalla Inn and Fight Club.
Welcome to Brawlhalla!
Hell with it, I'll use this map for now.
Okay. back in the time trap. Frickin'.
Yeah, it's not the same place. We're not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I still have my character down here. There we go. Good enough for me.
I'll just be walking in.
So.
Back to the entrance, third tray.
No, you don't need to. Sorry, you're fine.
Okay.
As you guys walk in, you notice that it is completely devoid of life. There's a fire burning in the fireplace. It's at a pretty good pace. I mean, it looks like someone had just recently fed the fire, but there's no one there.
Are there signs of like ale on the table, like there was back on the table at the end? Is there signs of life that could have been?
There are signs of someone quickly trying to clean up a mess. So, like, there are ale mugs on the counter where it looked like someone had quickly gathered them up on the tables and was going to clean them.
All right.
Trey just looks at that. It's like, is there supposed to be somebody in here?
Pretty sure there is. I mean, what's a tavern without a tavern keep, right?
And I'll go check the upstairs. At least. Anyone wanna come here?
You're gonna find anything.
He's gonna find a black book, and if he opens it, time resets.
So you'll just have to pick when I reappear.
Yeah, I don't find anything at the top floor. So I just fucking come back down and said, it's empty.
Yeah, sorry, you can show up. What route were you taking, by the way?
If they were coming like around the church, I was going to. Where's the map again? Anyway, when she recasts her spell, she's going to find a point in the road where it would make sense that she would just be there and then take the road straight to the inn.
Okay, so she's just walking through town.
Yeah, nobody would recognize her. She is disguised in a different shape. Or at least nobody there, I assume, would have met this person that she has disguised herself as.
What did you guys do with the donkey, by the way?
Leave him in the shed.
Yeah, we leave him in the shed.
Okay. Cool. Do you leave him with food?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. We give him some food.
I'm not gonna kill him from starvation. This is kind of funny.
Give him edibles.
Yeah. Trey mixed edibles into his grain. Doggy stripping balls.
Don't tempt me.
You get back and the donkey can like talk, and he's just talking about some dude named Shrek.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Well, I could have been discussing with him this entire time.
Do the onions have layers?
Okay. So
You just get back and it's like rocking in a corner. It's like, onions are like ogres. Onions are like ogres.
Oh no.
Fuck it, you influenced it. Slap hand, put the edibles in the donkey too.
Okay.
Okay, so, Sarah, roll a perception as you walk through town.
Just FYI.
You don't see anybody outside. Most of the windows have their curtains drawn, so you can't see inside either. Town seems eerily quiet except for the noises of random chickens and maybe a pig or two every now and then. And
Okay.
you get to the tavern with no incident. You don't see anybody, nothing stops you. You walk in pretty much right after the first group gets there.
Okay. So, let me go ahead. Let me see if I can even bring her picture to the map. Hold on.
You can just throw it in Discord if you need to.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Copy. This is the person that walks up to the inn.
It's a person.
Try to tell them look up the person and say no one's in here.
You're in there.
I mean, none of the townspeople you're talking about are in here.
Like, it looks like the fire had been fed recently, but no people.
There's signs of people leaving in a hurry.
Sariel, in her disguise, kind of just hums softly, and she pulls out her locket and toys with it just a little bit. It is disguised in a way to where its typical engravings are changed, but it's still in relatively the same shape. She walks in and she looks around, and she calls out, "Callum." Now, this person is High Elf. She is maybe 5'8", medium build.
No answer. Unless the other players that are there would like to answer you.
Trish is gonna say, we checked everywhere. Not even the barkeep's here.
She specifically goes into the back room where the other entrance is.
There is no one there. I'm assuming you're going to check the entrance for the underground tunnel as well.
Yep.
When you open up the entrance for the underground tunnel, you're greeted by a cloud of dust that wafts up from the opening, and you have to take a step back and you choke on it for a little bit.
Okay.
The passageway seems to be filled with dust.
No footprints in the dust or anything?
Nope.
Any indication that the dust would have been from a cave-in?
It's a very strong possibility.
She's gonna climb down and go check.
About halfway down the tunnel, you are stopped by a cave-in. And partly buried in the rubble on your side, you notice a very finely crafted stone cutting hammer.
No hand attached.
Nope.
Is the hammer positioned in a way that would have caused the cave-in, or is it sticking out like somebody was trying to escape?
It is just laying on the floor, covered up partially by some of the rubble.
So it was used to cause it.
Further looking at the supports around the cave-in, you can tell that the support beams in this particular part of the tunnel were specifically designed to be easily knocked out.
Okay.
It came from the church.
So Sariel takes the hammer and puts it into her bag, and she walks out. She's covered in dust and says, "Well, that shoots that idea in the foot."
Ariel, this tunnel leads to the church, right?
Yeah.
And it comes out in the crypt. And what we found, or what Trey and damn it, shit,
Runa with an R.
What Trey and Runa found, is blood seemingly coming from that crypt. So, logical conclusion is somebody was there, the blood there, and they probably, I don't know, cave in? You said it was caused, right, or not?
That's what I assume it to be. I assume that somebody had caused the cave-in. I don't have strong evidence on who it could be, but I have my suspicions.
Perhaps they did it because they were running away from the church. Or the church. That sounds like they're running away from God or something, from a god or something. You get what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
Sariel,
this doesn't look good.
add to your inventory, Sariel, a +1 light hammer.
There we go. Got it. So Sariel taps her foot like she's thinking. She's like, well, you all want to really investigate the crypt. I am of my word, and now that I start to put certain things into a different perspective, I should have investigated the whole church when I didn't find Rurik to start. But I didn't.
Where was he in the first place?
He was in the church at the altar. That's where I found him the first time.
So you just wasn't there the last time?
Not that I assumed. Everything looked in order from what I could see, but...
Can Trey roll an insight check on Sariel?
Sure.
Can't.
Sariel, you can either contest us with a deception check, or you can just not contest it.
I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to figure out what exactly you're trying to insight for.
Trey feels like you're hiding some knowledge from him. The entire fact that there's no people around. He's been trying to go to the crypt, but you've been elected to go to the end first, and then the fact that you're talking about a person who's been in and out of a church.
Sariel meets Trey's eyes squarely and says, if you have something specific to ask it. And she says this kind of sharply, like she doesn't appreciate being under scrutiny.
Trey just says, stop hiding shit.
I'm not hiding things.
You're withholding the truth. You're withholding information of important events until they seem necessary. You're confirming...
Because I don't know... You want to know what I actually saw in that church?
Yes.
Then ask that.
Then what did you see in the church?
When I didn't see Rurik right away, I cast See Invisibility. And I saw somebody there that I didn't expect, and I don't like the fact that he was there. Saint was there. And he alluded to the fact that Rurik was either dead or trapped or imprisoned or something. I'm not sure. But playing logic games and word games with him is very, very chancy because I've already been scarred once from it.
Then why do you keep playing them?
I don't. I had hoped that I could at least find Callum here because he and Rurik are working together to try and save this place. And the more and more that people keep disappearing that are supposed to end up saving this place, the more and more I start to fear that the premonition I had is going to come to pass.
Sorry to interrupt, kids, but your bickering isn't helping. If you want to try and save them before time runs out, then we need to get to the church.
And maybe we can start moving.
Then let's go.
Waddling like little kids.
Let's run!
Trey just he just opens up the door and just goes.
Fail.
God, this is playing out so much better than I could have hoped.
Sorry.
He says this is going so much better than I could have hoped. I have no idea.
Just the fact that Sario casting see invisibility just made the whole thing 10 times more fun.
Everybody dead. Just get down to the fucking thing. Let's go.
And
He's gonna play the
so
nice
that I
song
have
again.
some.
Oh. He's gonna play the nice song again, Luth?
Oh,
He
you
did
know
last
it.
time?
You know it.
So Zariel is taking the lead. She was tearing up a bit, but the walk has kind of worked it out of her system to where she's made herself as stone cold as possible. She doesn't want to feel anything.
I don't think that's the one, Luth. You had the wrong one.
Is it? I can't even hear it.
Me neither, but I remember the name. It's the doll one.
Oh yeah, you're
there
right.
You go. There you go.
Is the husk? Yeah, that's it. Is the husk thing still on the altar?
I have my own music, so.
So okay.
Is the husk thing the ethereal thing still on the altar?
Is your spell still active?
Has it been an hour?
Probably not. You look over and it's still there.
Okay. Is Saint still there?
Nope.
Okay, he gone. Good. Makes things easier. So, Sariel enters the church, glances at the thing, at the ethereal figure, but she doesn't give it much more energy than what she has to. She takes a moment to kind of swing into the kitchen here to find something strong smelling.
Hey, Joan, roll religion for me.
Okay.
Your eyes are drawn to the altar as well, and something in the back of your mind tells you that that place holds significance.
I'm gonna look at Sariel.
Okay, so I'm gonna pause before I go towards the kitchen, seeing Joan. What is it?
What's up with that altar?
I'm not entirely sure, but there is something there. I can't make out distinguishing features, but it's roughly 7 feet tall, and it doesn't react to anything here. I don't think it's anything conscious.
Okay, just out of game real quick. How fucking terrifying would that be, though?
What be?
You're asking me, Ruth. I already see this kind of shit.
Just this husk thing, like, it doesn't even acknowledge anybody's presence. It's just there. It just exists.
Just like the Eldritch horror style. Hell yeah.
Just that terrifies me. That, like, it's there and not there.
Luth, you do realize I am a witch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I've dealt with shit like this. Sure, it scares the shit out of me, but at the same time, I acknowledge that it's there. So, anyway, Sariel's going to go up to meet with Joan to see if there's been any changes. What exactly do you need me to do?
I don't...
The strip of cloth that you left on the altar is still there, and sitting on the strip of cloth are the 2 copper pieces.
She frowns, staring at that. It wasn't like that before. I left 1 coin with the strip with this. 2 copper coins were in the alms bowl. So somebody must have been here. Or something happened. She's looking for anomalies with the altar now. There's something that's now piqued her interest.
Joan's gonna use this.
Oh, wait a minute. How is this written?
That's interesting.
What?
Okay, so Joan, in character, you can hear the music that's playing now. Like, it's no longer ambience for the players. You can hear this. And
Wasn't this the same one that you played for? No, Bach.
yeah, this was for Bach
Yeah.
when he was having problems. But you don't know that.
Okay.
And you can't see it, but something in your mind just tells you that on the opposite side of the altar is a celestial being staring just straight forward, not necessarily at anything in general, just staring straight forward as if it's in some sort of stasis. And you get this aura of divinity coming from the 2 copper coins on top of the cloth. And Sariel, as you're investigating it, you run your hand over the altar, and when you run your hand over the coins, they are ice cold.
Sariel picks up the coins and the cloth, and she kind of stares at them.
Joan's gonna start looking around. Alert now.
And she's... Oh, God, I am burning so many goddamn spells today. There.
So, Joan, with your religion check and with your knowledge of this, you can tell that the coins that Sariel is holding have been consecrated. And Sariel, using your spell, you learn that these 2 coins now have the ability of doing extra damage to undead creatures. That if they were fashioned into a sort of weapon or attached to a weapon, they would deal extra damage.
Okay.
Alright, and then, Joan's will be like, Sariel, can you just describe the thing that you see?
Sariel turns back to the image, and she says, I don't exactly see any distinguishing features. It's about 7 feet tall. It does have an aura, a clear one from what I can tell. I know that it's looking straight ahead, but it does not appear to be active or conscious. I don't see any distinguishing features or any clothing per se.
Then, I see that too.
What, can you talk to it?
Awesome, do you hear music?
No, I don't, but are you okay?
I hear music along with this. It's hauntingly beautiful.
I'll try talking to it in that language you keep speaking whenever you talk to your divine guide, Amenadiel. She purposefully avoids using the word father.
she's gonna look to the being and in Celestial say, hello?
There's no change in its demeanor or appearance. It's as if physically it's there, but mentally it's not.
I don't think it hears me.
Okay. There's really not much
Hey.
more that we do here. Yes.
It's invisible, right? What happens if you walk straight through it? Can you walk straight through it? I'm trying, reaching out for it.
You can certainly try.
Joan's gonna walk closer to it, and with her right hand, she's going to.
Just try to.
She's gonna try and touch it.
Yeah.
The second that you make contact with it, blue sparks of magic energy bounce around the armor that's on that arm.
Does it hurt?
Nope. It feels tingly.
Nope, I don't know shit.
This works.
Is there anything I can roll to try and figure out what's happening?
Well, you've already rolled, what, religion?
I meant with the
Everyone sparks. I've got a plan.
Straight through it.
Oh, is
Let's
my
go.
hand straight through it, or am I actually making contact with something?
Your hand passes through it.
I can try Arcana, but I doubt. I don't think I know anything more than she does with the sparks.
And neither of you are aware of any spell that exists that does this. Doesn't mean there's not one, it's just one that you haven't encountered.
So hearing them talk about this, Runa is gonna come up, and she's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Thank you. Somebody else who's
No
using
problem.
spells burning through mine.
Yeah, but yeah, Joe's just like frozen there with her hand outstretched, all the sparks going.
Watches in monk.
Watches in.
Nice. She's gonna not pull her eyes away, but she's gonna address
Rosie,
being like,
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck, okay.
Asking what time is it for you guys?
So, as soon as you cast the spell, you're immediately blinded by this intense white light right behind the altar, and it's so intense that you actually stumble back and fall off of the altar and are knocked prone. Don't take any damage.
Dexterity to catch her.
Yeah,
Can I roll dexterity to catch her?
Dex to catch. Dex to catch.
yeah, you can.
Fuck! Sorry.
Dex to
Wait a minute,
catch.
why do...
So-
Damn, son!
Sario reaches for Rosie's arm as she starts to fall and just barely misses it. But Trey is right there at the bottom to catch her before she hits the ground and holds her in his arms.
My dude, this is going to become the next bardic legend.
Just like looks at her and says, "Hey," and then slowly pulls her up.
and then while Joan's still frozen there, she'll be like, Trey and Runa, do you see this thing? Not sparks, but what I'm.
So now that Runa's eyes have had time to adjust to it, she can't see the figure, but she can see this outline of white light around the figure. So she can see its outline, and she can see white light etched around it. But for her, there's still this invisible space inside the light.
He is a blinding light.
One can see the figure, one can see the aura, and one can detect its magic.
And Trey, Shiny, can you see it?
What? Me?
Trey,
Can I see it?
I don't
Do
see
you
anything.
this?
Trey hasn't cast anything that would allow him to see this.
I'm not even gonna see if I can, but I'm gonna use art.
shit.
Fine,
you're,
I'll roll Arcana as well.
you're
See if
focused
that works.
on Rosie still like right next to you, like having caught her.
I'll roll Arcana as well, see if it helps me.
It did.
No, Shiny, you're trying to see what they all see, but for the life of you, you can't figure it out.
I'm just basic. There we go.
There's nothing I can roll to identify this creature, is there?
Not really. You know that it's a
I'm gonna do
celestial.
something.
Is it evil or good?
You really can't tell. Its alignment is lawful, but you don't know if it's lawful good or lawful evil.
Detect good or evil. I can't cast that, so whatever.
I don't think I have that. Let me look at my spells.
So, anyway, Sariel gently kind of pulls Joan back away from this figure. She's like, I don't know what it is. I know I see it, but I don't trust it.
Well, if we can't know if it's good or evil, then why don't we just leave it be?
We did come here for the crypt, right?
In fact,
Yes, exactly.
Joan, you get the sense that this thing is neither good nor evil. That
Completely
Neutral. Lawful neutral.
it's not neutral. It's neutral in the same way. You haven't made that logical connection yet. I'll leave that be.
Oh, come on, man. What can I do to identify this thing? I want to know who or what it is, or like who it is. If it has a name.
Imagine it and Saint as two sides of the same coin. It is lawful in the respect that what it believes it's doing is right. Whether it is or not, its conviction and its own beliefs is so powerful that it radiates this aura of lawfulness.
Technically lawful evil.
Is there anything I can do to get its attention?
If you can think of something, you can try it.
Isn't that technically chaotic? Saying that, you can still follow a pair of rules, but those rules have to... No, wait, never mind.
It would be
That's
lawful
fine.
neutral.
Neutral, though.
Anyway,
It's lawful neutral in the way that Saint is chaotic neutral. Yeah, at first glance you think Saint is like just straight up evil, but there's more to him than that.
Ooh.
Ew, woo. Ew, woo.
so taking a moment to breathe. Sariel says we can come back to this once we're done with the crypt.
Alright, then let's head to the crypt.
What, you smell of blood?
Does anybody here have something strong smelling?
Let's go to the crypt trip.
Also, this spell lasts up to 10 minutes, and I sense all magic around me within 30 feet.
Yeah, did she ever figure out like what spell it is with detect magic or what?
I should know what type of magic that thing is using.
You'll learn school of magic.
Let's see, school spell. It's school of magic, if any. This is just pure raw magic. It's not like an enchantment. It's not like, oh, this is an enchantment of fire damage or anything, so you wouldn't be able to tell if it's like destruction magic or alteration. It's just straight up magic in its pure primal form. It's, if anything, it's what you would consider old magic.
Alright. Drip, drip,
Let's get the way
drip,
her
drip, drip.
through the body of it.
You're gonna walk through it?
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have Joan walk completely through it. She's gonna stand where it's standing.
Lennon, you're driving me mad.
I know.
I have pulled you away from this thing twice now.
So,
Yeah,
make
she's
a
gonna
British
stand
reference here, but I'm not
exactly
gonna.
where the thing is standing inside of it.
so are you just gonna stand inside it, or are you gonna try to match its pose? What are you doing?
Try and match its pose. And angle her head where it's looking, see if she can see what it's saying or something. And
Bella's gonna like look back at Joan and be like, you know, I could make a reference to something here, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, please do.
So, Trey for
First reference.
So as you stand inside this ethereal being, blue sparks course all over the outside of your armor, and these are visible to everybody. And it starts very faintly at first, but the longer you stand in it, the more pronounced it becomes. Your eyes start to fill with this blue light. Until eventually only the light is visible. Whoever's looking at you can't even see your eyes anymore. It's just this blue light inhabiting where your eyes were.
Is it like the same kind of look that I get when her wings come out?
Very similar, yes.
Are you going to get out of there or not?
Do I see anything?
Enlightenment. Oh man.
You're looking the same way it's looking, right?
Yes.
So what it is looking at is this right here.
Is what?
In the real world, it's a fountain, just a normal water fountain. But what you see is what it is in the ethereal realm, which is a fount of magic energy. It looks the same, but instead of water, it's literally just arcane energy flowing.
So what you're telling me is that this is a point of... Okay, that's pretty nifty. That's awesome.
That's why this is a place of pilgrimage.
Perhaps that's why it's so heavily fortified as well.
But like this husk that you call it, the fountain is connected both to the real world and the ethereal realm.
Joan, what are you seeing? Or do you only see a light?
Is someone radiating the same type of magic that the husk is now?
Yeah, now that Joan has established a connection, you're able to see it as well. Joan is acting kind of like a conduit between the real world and the ethereal realm.
Joan's going to try speaking to it in Celestial now that she's inside of it and doing this. She's going to ask it hello again. Or say hello to it.
Nothing responds, but you get this feeling of warmth wrapping around you the same way that it feels when you pray to a Minadil.
He's giving you a hug.
Aww. She's gonna try it again and say, "Who are you?"
No response.
Damn. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do.
Wait, Joan, are you gonna tell people about the
Oh yeah, then she's gonna point at the
She's
fountain.
gonna point at the fountain? Okay. Hold on.
Since I still have detect magic active, I'm gonna wander over towards the fountain. Detect magic stuff.
This you can identify. It's not old magic. It's the fountain itself is of the Restoration School of Magic.
I gotta be right back, so I have something to do. I'll be back soon. No worries.
I'm just gonna notify.
Well, we are
everyone.
coming down to the wire, Luth.
Yeah, I see
Didn't
that.
you say you need to be gone by noon?
Yeah, I see that.
Joan, the fountain's restorative in nature. the type of magic it's radiating, at least.
Joan's gonna nod her head.
It's a different type of magic than what you're now radiating.
Since it's like radiating magic through her and like wrapping itself around her, Joan's gonna try and invite it in to see if it can talk to the others at least.
Demon possession.
That's what I was
Basically.
just thinking.
She's allowing it to possess her to try and see if the others can communicate to it.
Okay, put a feather in that cap, because that does something, but we don't have time to get into it right now.
God damn it.
Sorry, guys.
But
Can't be on that cliffhanger.
so we'll be done with you. Does anybody else want to do anything to wrap up? Like one last action.
Since you guys are all just doing magical stuff, Trey's just gonna head towards the crypt door and open and get ready to descend. Because Trey's effectively kind of useless with magic stuff.
And it would be in his prerogative. Anyway.
Yeah. So, Sariel and Runa?
Sariel's kind of conflicted. She wants to talk to this creature, she wants to understand the fountain, but at the same time she does have a prerogative also to the crypt. So she's just waiting for a direction to be given.
I'm gonna go up and try to attempt to bottle some of the water.
So, because the spell's still active, you're able to see this. As soon as you bottle the water and pull it away from the fountain, any magical properties it has are gone.
Then she's gonna empty the water back in.
You get the idea that whatever magic this water possesses cannot be contained and stored. You can use it, but you can't take it with you. It's that point you notice a small silver chalice that wasn't there a minute ago on the edge of the fountain.
Drink it, drink it.
I'm gonna attempt to drink it.
Okay. Alright.
Damn it, I need to know what it does.
I sent Rosie a whisper.
And can I say what it does?
So, when you drink this, you feel this rush of restorative power coursing through you. And it starts from your stomach and just radiates out from the center all the way to the tips of your fingers and toes. You can even feel it in your hair. And yeah, no, you can totally tell.
So out of character, it restored all my spell slots, but in character, I'd be like, if you need a pick me up, it'll help.
Yeah, essentially, this fountain it basically has the effects on your magic of a long rest.
That's very helpful.
It is.
Sariel's going to need that magical jolt, so she's going to follow Runa. And do so.
I would have Joan do the same thing, but she's trying to get possessed, and I'm not sure what it's doing.
So, you take a drink from the fountain. Same silver chalice. and you feel this rush of restorative energy, and all of your expended spell slots are restored as well.
Thank you very much. Because I have a feel. Whoop, shit. Not that. Don't ignore that. Ignore that. That didn't happen. Oh, the woes of having a touch screen. I love my Lenovo, but man, it can be temperamental sometimes.
Now, Rosie, looking at the fountain, you notice that the light that surrounds it starts to dim a little bit.
Uh-oh. That's not fair. I'm gonna drink it too. But I can't.
The way it looks doesn't change for you at all. It's only Rosie's perception of it that dims.
It's got limited uses. We need to use it sparingly. If not, just leave it for the townspeople. I think it could be of use.
Agreed. Luth, I need to know what's happening to me. Cliffhanger 101, thy name is Luthien. The end. No, I don't want another cliffhanger.
Yeah, we're gonna have to stop it there. It is 12:04 for me. But it was a fun time, wasn't it?
Damn it, Luth, you can't just do that to people. You can't say that it does something that maybe they're gonna be possessed and then not tell them what they're possessed with.
There we go.
You're possessed with a desire to know.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was awful.
We stopped? Okay. Somebody fill me in.
Okay, so
Has restorative properties.
yeah, Rosie found out that the fountain can restore expended spell slots, but you aren't sure of the nature of its limitations yet, but you get the idea that there are limitations on it. So if you've used any spell slots, this would be a good chance to get them back, but I don't think you've cast any spells, have you?
I don't even have spells.
That's what I thought.
I'll have Joan drink from it when everything's done, but right now she's trying to...
So yeah, Trey's waiting by the door to go down to the crypt. Rosie and Sarah have drank from the fountain. Joan is playing Dial an Angel. And that's where we're going to have to end.
Alrighty.
Yay! Good game, guys. Good game.
I freaking love this song, Luth. You don't understand.
It's a good song. I
I
really
I have
enjoy
my
it.
own. I have my own background music.
Same.
Wait,
That's going to be rough when I play like
alrighty, my dudes.
actual
I'm
stuff
gonna-
that's relevant to the story.
like right now, for instance.
Like I'm going to start playing like different tracks and stuff to like signify when there's danger nearby and stuff like that.
Yay, ambiance!
Pretty much.
Can you just play this song forever?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I love
Sing
it
the
so
City in the
much.
Sky song, which is a pretty cool song. I just bumped my glass. Oops.
Like you'd be walking down a corridor and all of a sudden you'll hear this.
That doesn't sound bad.
You'd be like, what the hell is that? Or like in the distance.
That does not sound in the distance.
Like your face just got
Lovely.
blasted off.
Basically.
Or you'll be walking along in a cave and all of a sudden you hear this. You're like, what was that noise?
Alrighty, my dudes, I gotta go.
When I
Yep.
host.
Alright.
Yeah.
So
I promised my friends that play Among Us with them at 7, so I gotta bail.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Too shiny.
Luth, before you go, got a question for you.
What's up?
Because we did a session this week, are we gonna still do one next weekend?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just get back on our normal schedule because this isn't the normal weekend off for some of us.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I won't be able to do a session next weekend. Never mind.
This weekend you won't, or next weekend?
That's up to you. I'll have to get back to you with it. I'll have to get back to you guys on session Sunday because I forgot I had plans and they might coincide.
God damn it, Luth. Luth, you're not allowed to make plans on Sunday.
Rosie, what did you wanna
These
say?
plans trump D&D.
Shiny?
What do you wanted to ask me something, or?
No, I'm
I
good.
just said have a good time.
Alright. See ya.
No.
Deuces, guys.